pretty good.
Oh, we got we just talking. We talking stuff.
Yeah,
so,
but I was kind of happy. I can't wait till my little stand come up, man. I'm gonna be recording off. I'm gonna use my camera off my phone. That's gonna be legit.
Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with the stand. Like, I'm gonna order a table. I'm gonna order a desk, and I'm gonna move to another section in the dining room.
Boy, you better. Boy, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to another section in the dining room so I can have a different type of space. But yeah, man, and I can set up a different way. I definitely think about getting a MacBook Pro though, because I actually want to start doing it off of there instead of the iPad.
Hey, you know the crazy part? I need an iPad. You need a MacBook.
Yeah, so I definitely was like looking into that all week. I've been looking into that stuff all week long.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I shout out to your pockets after that, because them drones is crazy. I bought mine when the MacBook Pro when it came out in 17. So this is the 17 one. That drone was up there. That drone was like 1,700, and I was like, good God, thank God I got my bonus when I did, because when that happened. Yeah, y'all about to get brown T-shirt Butler today, bro.
Yeah, I've been looking at refurbished ones, and I can't afford a brand new one. Like the brand new one, I just can't afford, bro. It's not going down that way. I gotta check it in the savings, and wait about checking my savings. Look, it's not going down that way.
Hey, I'm bougie now, so I was looking at them tablets, and I'd be like, you said 1 terabyte?
Yeah, like this joint, like I love this joint. It does everything I needed to do, but I think for the show and things like that, I definitely need get in on the joint, get a MacBook for sure. But yeah, man. So we on the clock, episode 6. It's your boy, one of the hosts of B&B on the Clock, Coach Reg, and we got the soldier JB the Kid 1. We are back again for another episode, another week. We're back at our normal scheduled time. We're back on Friday, so it is Friday. So we are here, B&B on the Clock. Please excuse our background noises, like we are working in our houses, so you will hear some things in the background sometimes, so please excuse that. We try our best to limit that as much as possible by muting our mics and stuff like that, but we just want to let y'all know. As you see behind me, that's our new logo. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't been on any of the pages and seen the new logo is behind me. Yeah, that's the new B&B on the Clock logo. So yes,
sir.
So yes, we are up and running. My co-host JB the Kid, the soldier. How was your week, sir?
Oh man, as you can see, I'm in my brown T-shirt, so that only means one thing. I had one of those weeks, bro. So y'all go get. Hey, look. Hey, I just want to let y'all know. Hey, your boy brought out the Hennessy today. You heard what I'm talking about? It's been one of them weeks, but thank God I made it. Thank God I made it. But no, it was a good week. We had a lot of training stuff to do and clear some stuff up. It's about to be the end of the fiscal year in the Army, so we had to clear a lot of stuff up and change of responsibility coming up. We got a new sergeant major and all that, so it's getting real hectic up there. But got a 4-day next weekend, so I am ready. I am ready for that. But all in all, man, I made it through.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Yeah, my week was good. Went back to work. First full week back. Man, hadn't been there in about 2 weeks actually. So it was first full week back. So it was an adjustment period. Actually doing some work, actually in work with the shoulder and everything. Shoulder's doing better. It's progressing, but it ain't 100% yet. So I can't do everything I'm supposed to do at work. But it's good. It's good to be home. Good to be back around family and everything. Man, like I said, like we are here. We are on the clock. I got vodka in my cup. You got Hennessy. We going cheers. I'm using a Chick-fil-A cup today. I don't have one of my normal cups around me. So it's my Chick-fil-A cup.
So today. You fancy. Hey, you fancy. You fancy, bro.
You take a little bit. Give me my spin on.
Boy.
Give me a little. caught me off guard that time. That caught me off guard that time. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Oh
Man.
man.
Yeah, you know, I got that gravity thing, so it caught me off guard there. But so we gonna jump right into the show, man. Oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta do my thing. Show my shirt off for the day.
Okay.
This right
too
here,
rare.
this
Too
is
rare.
how I'm so proud of this shirt right here because this is
Okay.
my oldest son's clothing line. So I'm so proud to wear his clothing line on the show and introduce it to the world. Too Rare clothing. My son Jalen, I'm so proud of him. He started his own clothing line, so I definitely had to wear it on the show today. Like I said, I'm going to promote clothing lines and companies on the show as much as I can, and that one right there, it blesses my heart to see my son out here trying to do his own thing. So I had to wear it.
I want to represent a clothing brand too. This is straight from military clothing sales. Hey yo, $15.60 in a pack. You feel me? Made from my inmates out there in the world.
Oh man. So our first topic of the day, since we're getting on the clock here, we about to start this thing right. My first topic for today is the NBA draft and NBA free agency.
Man.
Where do you want to start? You want to start with free agency or you want to start with the draft? The draft was pretty predictable.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's start with the draft. Like you said, you took the word right out of my mouth. I said it was pretty predictable. It wasn't like crazy trade. The only trade, obviously, was the Westbrook trade that happened. Like that was big. But you had what's my man's name? See, look, you know who's the number one pick, Reggie? Who's the number one pick?
Oh, Cade Cunningham.
Double C. There it is. Okay,
yeah.
So yeah, Cade Cunningham. I think he was just like the best overall prospect. What did I say? His name is Jalen Green.
Jalen Struggs. Oh yeah. Jalen Green. You talking about Jalen Green?
Going to the Rockets or whatever. That was a pretty good move. Outside of that, you know, the Warriors got them 2 picks. They had Moses Moody and Kuminga.
Yeah.
Pretty solid players. Like it was like, to me, it wasn't really a lot of star power in this draft, in my personal opinion. I say it's like I seen 2, and that's Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green.
Well, I think Jalen Struggs from Gonzaga is a star. Nah, I think he's a star.
I think the craziest one that I liked that nobody really talked about is Davion Mitchell on the Kings.
Yeah, I think that's
that was one I was like, that was, I don't know. When I watched the Final Four and all that last year, I didn't really get this the first year because I was moving and all that. I didn't get involved in the whole, you know, like college basketball, like towards the playoff time anyway. But when I seen that of Davion Mitchell, when I did get time to watch it, it was like, yo, he might make some noise or whatever. But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, never predictable. It wasn't anything crazy. But what'd you take on it though?
I mean, like I said, it just started like that. I thought the draft was very predictable. It went kind of like the experts said it would. It wasn't nothing that jumped out or changed that made me be like, oh, this is a shocker, or why did they make that move?
Yeah.
It all was very predictable. Now, free agency, on the other hand, that's the one right there. Like that we need to talk about, because I know you as a Lakers fan, you have so much to be glad about and joyful about, because you guys have turned into the Hall of Fame super team. So go ahead and gloat and get it out. Let's go. Just go ahead.
I just want, as a Lakers fan, I want everybody to keep that same energy. Like my man LeBron said, yes, I'm saying my man LeBron because we are best friends, okay? And he told me, asked me if it was okay to tweet that. I was like, yeah, bro, you speak it. Took the words right out of my mouth. Go ahead. I bet you'll get more of a response than I would. So he went and tweeted that, right? And he was like, keep that same energy. And I was like, he took the words right out of my mouth. That's why we best friends. But yeah, it's amazing to me because a lot, like, for you, in 97, 98, Michael Jordan had one of the oldest teams in the NBA in all the 75 years of the NBA. And because they had Michael Jordan, it was okay. That's legit. Because they had Michael Jordan, it was okay. I was like, you have LeBron James. Like, to me, as long as you have a team with LeBron on it, it should be no issue. It doesn't matter who you pick up. And I feel like that was the issue I had. Like y'all didn't have this energy. I felt like when Jordan did it, but when LeBron did it, I feel like the way it happened, oh, the Lakers can't get nobody. They traded everybody. How they gonna fill the team? But you have LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis. That's the pitch. That's the pitch. And you got some good players. Like we got Trevor Ariza, who I feel is like still a decent two-way player. He's not gonna be knocking down threes left and right. But then we got Camp Bazemore. Then we got see, now I haven't what you call it.
You got your boy THT or whatever his name is.
Yeah, but he a young boy. I'm talking about the people that we actually got in.
You got a Hall of Famer, a professional
Carmelo.
scorer.
I'm tripping.
Because you talked about that for a year that he should be a Laker. So
I put that into existence. I'm on my LeVar Ball. Okay, this took too long, but yeah. I was like, man,
say, like you can't forget.
Nah, Melo is the one I feel like is going kind of. That's the one I really like. I think a lot of Laker fans like really wanted that. Of course, if you're a LeBron fan, they want everybody like LeBron's friends to play with him. But I always like legit wanted Melo. I've been talking like you said for a year. I wanted Melo on the team. But yeah, man, I just feel like the Lakers, even though they're like vets, I feel like because they are vets, that's what's going to give us the edge that we need. And then not really too concerned about defense. Everybody's like, what about defense? Like we don't have like bums. Now the one person, now it's Friday. So the one person I do want us to get is Avery Bradley. If we can get Avery Bradley, and then we got the boy McClung, that was an undrafted rookie. If we just keep them two and we get Avery Bradley back on the team, and we got Dwight Howard back. So I mean, I
like Matt McClung. I think he was good in college. He was amazing in high school, and he was very good. He was good at college, so I definitely think he could be a sleeper. I like the way his first game went for the summer league in LA. I watched that. I thought he played well in that first game. I definitely think he is he's a one. Like he's one of those ones that you just you find.
Yeah,
you found one.
How about them Bulls though, man? They got LeVar Ball.
Let's talk about that. Like they got Lonzo.
They got Lonzo.
They got Lonzo. They got DeRozan.
Yeah.
Last year they had added Vucevic, who I think is a star. Excuse my phone, people. People try to text me during the middle of the show. They know I'm potting right now. I've already posted a picture saying I'm potting. I don't understand why I'm getting text messages while I'm potting. So, like, I love what Chicago did. I think Chicago is going to surprise a lot of people. I think Chicago is going to be one of those ones that surprise people. I like, oh my God. But yeah, so we got a house full of people. It's crazy here. But so we got I love what Chicago did. What about Miami? Miami's another one of them. Listen, Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's my guy, man. Kyle Lowry's my guy.
I'm gonna say it's because he's from Philly. So, but take the bias out your heart.
It's not even being biased, man. That guy's a player.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I feel like Lowry's one of them scrappy point guards that he's a vet point guard at this point, right? And I was telling people he's a good fit for Miami, but I just don't see it like personally putting him over the edge. And how it does it now, it doesn't prove their record because they got bounced out on an embarrassingly in the first round. So I feel like it's not going to happen with Jimmy Butler coming back and all the boys coming back. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's okay. This is it. It's like how everybody was coming out of the Lakers for getting old people. Nobody's talking about the whole Kyle Lowry. He's supposed to be a difference maker. I don't see it.
He's a dog.
He's a dog now. With Jimmy Butler, they
do.
Yeah,
he fits what they do. They're dogs.
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like Tyler Hero a pretty boy though. I ain't gonna cap.
But see, if they got Tyler, they still got Duncan Robinson. See, they still got the shooters around the dogs. So and then you still got Bam. So I like what they did. Like I like what Miami did. I like the moves Miami made. I like them. I like a lot of the moves that everybody made. CP3 resigning with Phoenix. I love that. I think they're going to be good. I think they're still missing one piece. But they did go get a. Oh no, hold on, I forgot about something. Go back to Miami. PJ Tucker going to Miami. That's big. That's another dog. Like dogs, like dudes who just get after it. And I love defense. So as a coach, I love defense.
Right.
Now,
Yeah,
as a player,
yeah.
I was an offensive player, but as a coach, I am a defensive
No,
guy. Like, I love
that
defense.
part. Yeah, the dog in it. But I'm like, for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, you got dogs, but the Clippers had dogs too. But yeah, you know, like so that's why for me, I look at like how many wins is that person that you signed? Like, how many wins could they get you? So like that's why I was like, when we got Russell gave us an easy about 15, 20 wins by himself. Where LeBron and AD can get out the rotation or whatever. Kyle Lowry, him alone, I say adds about maybe a solid 10 to 15. That's where I was looking at some of these free agent signings. But we got the Bulls, we got the Heat in the East. The Knicks made some moves.
Knicks made some moves.
The Kemba Walker joint.
Evan Fournier went to New York as well.
So,
I mean, I like what New York did too. I don't think it takes them over the top, but
nah, it's a start though. Kemba Walker in the Madison Square is not bad.
Yeah, Kemba returning home is big. Like, you got to have Kemba go home. That's big. Can I talk about my Sixers for a second?
Yes, sir. I was waiting on it. Go ahead. I'm gonna mute my mic so you go ahead and do your thing.
Where do I start? Like, where do I start with my Sixers? Like, first of all, we only signed Andre Drummond. We re-signed Kuzma. Korkmaz, whatever his name was. Korkmaz. There you go. We signed another guy who was just like Korkmaz, and I don't even really know his name. And then the guy who I really don't like, who I want traded, they still haven't traded, and now he's not even taking their phone calls. It's a bad week here in Philadelphia, yo. It's a bad week.
The crazy part is that they talking about him going to the Warriors.
I mean, but the Warriors don't want to give up what the Sixers asking for. And again, I don't really think the Sixers want to trade him. Like, I want to be honest when I say this, and I want everybody to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. Look at the deal that the Sixers asked for, which they knew they were not going to get. You asked for Wiggins, Wiseman, a first this year, a first next year. Y'all wanted a Godfather deal for a guy who hasn't proven he's worth the Godfather deal.
Yep.
So do you understand where I'm coming from? Like, he's not going nowhere. So what y'all really did was y'all alienated him. And at the same time, y'all didn't go behind closed doors and be like, listen, we ain't really going to try to trade you, but we're going to make the fans happy by making it look like we try to trade you. Like, that's what y'all should have did behind closed doors, but y'all didn't. So now y'all got this kid, and he's still a kid at 25 in his feelings. And now we looking at what we looking at. He's not talking to nobody. He's not taking Embiid's calls. He's not taking Doc's calls. He's not taking nobody from the organization's calls.
I told you, and what I tell you, I told you, if I'm Ben Simmons, F y'all, because y'all should have had my back when the media was coming for me. I told you. I told you. He's light skinned. You know, light skin getting their feelings a little too fast. I told you. I said, if I'm Ben Simmons, the way Embiid threw me under the bus in the interview, I'm not talking to him. I told you it was going to happen. I told you. And I was like, look, I said, what's probably going to happen, he's going to force his way. He's going to force it to like a poor AD and force his way out of Philly to where, like, it's going to be one of them. I feel they don't get nothing done by, like, preseason. It's going to be a trade deadline type deal. And the Warriors are going to get him. I just don't see how they don't, like, how they go to trade Ben Simmons to the Warriors. That's my thing. I don't understand it. Because he can't shoot. So why is he over there? Like, why is he over there?
Because you know what he can do? He can do everything else.
I guess, but oh, Jesus.
But you don't need him to shoot in Golden State.
Yeah, but so you going to take Draymond's spot?
Him and Draymond can play on the floor together.
What, he gonna play the 5?
He could play it.
Oh my goodness! See, now we didn't know. Stop. So now you're thinking like Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr needs to get with the picture because it's not making sense. It's not making sense.
He's great in the open floor. He's great running the floor. He's not great in the half court. You got Steph and Clay for the half court.
Reggie, you can run down the damn floor and pass the ball to Steph and Clay. If you know they on the left and the right. I could do that. So
that's all he's needed for.
Oh my goodness. Ben need to go somewhere where he could be a star. Okay, because he's about to get like
he's not
15.
A star.
He is a star.
He's not a star. Like, let's stop. Like, let's cut
What?
the BS.
So,
like, let's cut the.
So
let's
Ben's
cut
just
the
a
BS.
regular schmegular player in the NBA.
Dude, listen. He goes to All-Star games. He's a top 3 defender.
So he's not a star.
But he's not a star. Like, he's not generational. He's not transition.
No. It's levels. It's star. There's superstar. That once in a generation.
Oh, okay. I'll give you.
He's a star.
He's the lowest level of what we're talking about. He's the lowest tier.
He's a star. He's
the lowest tier. That's fine.
I'm saying he's a star. You can't sit here and say
he's the lowest tier.
Get picked up an all-star and you're like, oh no, he's not a star.
Yo,
you're a hater because of what he did in Philly. Let that hate go, bro. Let that hate go.
Listen, like someone told me, bums get selected to All-Star games sometimes too. So it's okay.
What bum do you know got selected?
We can go back in history and look at bums that got selected to All-Star games. Every dog has a good day. Listen, he's been on great teams. He plays great defense. He's top 3 in defense. I get it. But offensively, he has no offensive bag whatsoever. There's not an offensive.
That's the point I'm getting at. That's the point I'm getting at.
This offensive bag looks like a Save-A-Lot bag.
Facts. I agree. That part I agree with. I'm just saying, I don't really see. Like, I see him in the Draymond role. So that's what I was saying. Like, is Draymond part of this package?
Draymond got an offensive bag, though. He could go to the cup. He can shoot from 15 foot. He can shoot the 3 occasionally. Draymond has an offensive bag. This dude has no offensive bag. Draymond does not.
When the last time you know Draymond dunks the ball and lays the ball up, and every once in a while he
can make foul shots. He can hit threes. He can hit a 15-foot jump shot. Does he take them? No, he doesn't take them all the time.
And Ben Simmons can hit a 15 shot.
Where? Since when?
Little left hand. The stupid little.
That's a runner in the middle of the lane. And that's 7 feet.
Bro, it's 15 feet. It's
7 feet. It's 7 feet. Inside the dotted circle is 7 feet.
Bro, he be outside hitting that little.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he did, bro.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He wouldn't even shoot. He wouldn't even dunk on Trae Young in the playoffs.
Oh my gosh! See, this is where that hate go. Let that hate go, bro.
Like you cost us a whole series. You cost us a whole series.
Hey, we in August. This gotta we gotta let this go, boy. God.
Hey, listen, he cost us a whole series. Like I can't let it go. I can't let it go. Like how do you let that go? Like you were supposed to be playing against the Bucks in the conference finals. Like listen, again. I'm upset they haven't traded him. I've been saying for 3 years they should have traded him. Everybody was telling me I was wrong, but now everybody's on board. And I'm like 3 years ago, I was telling y'all this guy is not who y'all think he is. I've been saying this for the longest.
Yeah, and one thing we can I probably agree on, and I shout out to my dad who's probably watching this episode, and I was saying the team wasn't built around Ben Simmons. The team was built around Embiid. So I was like, when you add Ben Simmons into the mix, he is, don't get me wrong, like you said, he runs transition, he can get Embiid the ball in his little sweet spot. He can dish it out to everybody, especially when you have shooters around him. Yeah, but I felt like the team wasn't built around him. No. So that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like Ben Simmons needs a team that's built around him and his strength to make him look good. Because right now he's in the way. Like he's in the way. He's in the way. That's all.
He's in the way. Yeah, so we will see what happens going into the season. We'll see what happens with this free agency, everything like that. We'll see all that stuff coming up. We'll be tracking it and watching it. We're going to talk about Team USA men's.
Sure.
So I have to come on record and say that I was wrong. Because in previous episodes, I think it was episode 5 or 4, I said that I didn't think they would medal after the losses. So I will have to say I was wrong. Today is Friday. They play tonight at 10:30 in the gold medal game. They can end up with a silver if they lose. They're playing France, who they've lost to the last 2 times they played them. I don't know if they're going to lose tonight, but I would be worried because France has their number right now. Listen, they've lost the last 2 times they played France. So we're not going to act like France hasn't beat them, and we're not going to act like they wasn't up by more than 10 in the last game they played France and they collapsed. So we're not going to act like those 2 things didn't happen. So let's not act like those things didn't happen. But I will say this. If you don't think Kevin Durant is not the best player in the world, you are out your goddamn mind. Because how he has took it over in the Olympics, let me tell you, that man is taking over. That man is taking over.
I just want to publicly apologize to my viewers. I don't know. He had mental illness or whatever. He forgot.
So here you go.
Man, like LeBron James.
I forgot what.
Exist. LeBron James doesn't exist.
I didn't say he don't. I don't.
Giannis Antetokounmpo doesn't exist.
Giannis is out of the Olympics.
So you just said he's the best player in the world. That's what you said.
Did I stutter when I said it? I've been saying he was the best player for the last 3 years. So that doesn't change in my mind.
What?
Even hurt, I said he was the best player in the world.
See, that's why I know that. But I don't know what you drinking on, but boy, God, you stop drinking it. Even hurt? Oh, hell no.
You don't think?
Now, okay, I will say this. I know a lot of people in the media world that were saying like, well, KD is like acting like he doesn't want to be here, or being the vet, quote unquote, on that team, and you need to step up. And I was like, yeah, like it's KD, it's him and Dame. Honestly, when we think about the team, we think about him and Dame, honestly, and maybe D Book. That's the 3 people I think about. I think of Team USA right now. I think about Jason.
Hey, I think about Jason Tatum too.
Nah,
I don't know how you don't think about Jason Tatum.
No, because this is his first time on this level.
Okay.
That's why I'm going. So my thing with KD is like, hey, like KD, you need to take over, which we know you can. You're literally a walking bucket. Do your thing.
And yes.
And exactly. So right. So don't get me wrong. He's the best player on the planet offensively. When I talk about all around game, it's still gonna be LeBron James. Until LeBron James retires, it's a wrap.
Okay. I mean, that's
offensively, ain't nobody touching KD. That's a fact. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Shout out to Steph. Shout out to Steph because he is unstoppable when he get high. But KD's 7 feet, bro. Like I can't really get around the fact that he's 7 feet tall doing this. Like that's the only thing. But offensively, yeah, KD is the best offensive player on the planet. But let's be real, Olympics, bro, it's too easy to play in the Olympics, bro. I think it's easy to play in the Olympics, bro. I ain't gonna cap.
It's actually, I think the rules and the way the game is played in the Olympics is tougher than the league.
So I will say, as far as the touchy fouls or whatever, that don't happen. So they got to bang like they back in Rutgers or something. You know what I'm saying?
They got to bang like they back in the day.
Yeah. Yes. So that's the part I do like. And like once they get that's why I said like these young bulls that be playing or whatever. I'm like they ain't ready yet because KD's already been there, so he already know how to take over a game and do what he needs to do. And then once KD gets going, as you've seen in these Olympics, it's been a wrap. So that's what I was saying more so like, hey, we just need to keep the same winning formula. I don't feel like France has that number. I feel like the Team USA gave that game away.
Okay.
So that's why I said they don't have our number. I feel like they about to ball out this
gold medal. It's the gold medal game.
I want to see what Rudy Gobert does because you know what I'm saying. Like everybody's like, oh, because they got Rudy. Oh my God, Rudy about to get these buckets.
I'll go back to what I said last time when they played them. What they did was they went 2 bigs. They went to double bigs. They went 2 bigs, and they forced Team USA into bad matchups on the defensive end. But I think the Team USA can win this game. I think they are the more talented team. Hands down, they're the more talented team. So I do think they can win. My question is, will they win? That's what we got to figure out here.
Oh yeah, I'm big. I gotta go. I got USA going gold. Unlike yourself, I definitely chose the USA to at least medal. It wouldn't be USA with all them players. I expect them at least to get bronze, like bronze. Like,
listen, I was worried.
Wrong. No. So for all the people, and you're not the only one. For all the people that were worried, I was worried a little bit. But I just like at least like with the talent that they had, they would at least get bronze. And you seen Remember we talked about Greg Popovich it's not coaching Spurs basketball anymore. So that's the big thing.
Right.
So because he's not coaching that anymore, I feel like now he gets to go in especially KD, he can play his game. They can play that way they want to now. And Dame has been better. Like him and KD have been like golden. So shout out to them, man. They really like after Pop, hey, do what you do, and they've been playing the way they need to play. And so boom, Team USA go tonight. It happens. We celebrate.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna talk mental health for a second. We're gonna talk about Simone Biles and keeping on this Olympic topic. I'm proud of what she did. I believe that she did the right thing, taking her mental health first. I believe that was more important than any game. You got to be in the right mindset to be able to do these things that she does on the floor, in gymnastics, period. Excuse me, I'm battling that cough, so I'm starting to get all jokey because my throat's starting to itch again. But yeah, so I believe she did the absolute right thing, and more people should put their mental health first before anything.
Right. Yeah. I felt like same thing. Starting with Brandon Marshall back in 2011. A lot of people don't remember Brandon Marshall when he came out and he did his mental awareness thing. But I just came into the Army and they had pushed that narrative in the Army as well. And so I always like when people talk about mental health in the African American community, we don't really talk about it as much. Like, I remember when I told my mom I was stressed when I was 14, 15 years old, she told me to go to bed and drink water. So like that was the thing. Like we don't really go to therapists. We don't really talk about like our mental whatever. I always say it's like with Simone Biles, like she is great and she's young. So like whenever she steps out on that floor, a lot is expected. And we just think because she's trained physically that mentally she's just supposed to like, go out there and perform, but she's still human. And I felt like that was like for her just to come out and say like, no. And I don't know how true it was for them to when they were coming out and they were saying like they were changing the rules because of her. I don't know how that true that was or whatever, but even
parts
with that,
is true.
Parts of it. But I was saying like with hearing that and hear the noise and the chatter and all that good stuff, it was like for her to come out and just like, hey, look, my mental comes first on the biggest stage, which is the Olympics. The world literally is watching, and you come out and say, look, I'm not doing this because I need to take care of me first. I thought that was key. And like hats off to her. I'm proud of her. I think she has got back to the States today. I think so. But yeah, I'm just like proud of what she did. And I hope a lot of more athletes pay attention to mental health and mental awareness or whatever, because I think it's key. I think we just got to remember that people are human.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving right along on the clock here. We're going to talk about this AFC South. That's who we're talking about this week. We're going to get into the NFL. We'll talk about the AFC South, and we're going to talk a little bit about that preseason game last night. I mean, it ain't too much to talk about. It's preseason. Cowboys look as horrible as they always do. Pittsburgh didn't look too good either. But the AFC South, you have Jacksonville, who had the number one pick. You have the Houston Texans. You have the Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And who's the last team in that division? Is the last team the Colts?
The Texans.
I said the Texans already.
Oh, so yeah, the Colts.
Colts, right. Yeah, last team was the Colts. Which I never understood why they're in the AFC South when they're in the North, but NFL and their way they divide things up is crazy. 2 weeks ago, I would have had the Colts winning this division. But things have changed with their quarterback situation. And the guy, I don't know why you pumping your fist if you're an Eagles fan. It's not, that is the worst. Like a lot of Eagles fans kill me right now because you know what you needed? 75% of games. If he's out 12 weeks, that doesn't happen. And that first round pick is gone.
Okay, so we can still get somebody in the second round. So the reason why I'm doing like this is because people like you have like, oh, we should have kept him. Oh my gosh. And like once again, he's proven to be
Again,
injured. That's why
okay.
I love the
They had
fact.
3 people go down for the same injury. That was their field. That wasn't. That's horrible. That's horrible when you have 3 guys go down for the
Don't
same
make
exact injury.
excuses for him being a freaking made of glass.
Bro,
Like
he
he's
injured his.
proven.
Yo, 2 of his linemen and him all went down from the same foot injury, stepping on the same spot on their field.
Oh, okay.
So that's
right.
that's just him being injury prone.
He has got bad luck. You're right. We're just talking about the bad luck. Carson Wentz has bad luck. Thankfully, that luck is no longer on the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, because God,
you can feel how you want to feel. You can feel how you want to feel. Listen. I swear, I can't wait for this season to start because if this team don't blow, and I hate to talk about the Eagles right now because we already talked about them, but if that team, let me say this, I'm gonna say this on here. I want this on record. If that team ain't a 9-10 win team, I swear I'm giving all y'all hell. If that boy don't look like the next coming of
so I have a question.
Moon, or
I just have
Randall
a question.
Cunningham, no, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
What? What? Randall Cunningham?
If he don't look like the next coming of the greatest black quarterback ever, listen, I promise you, I'm going to have so much to say.
So I would have rebuttal, and I would say my thing is one. I feel like Jalen Hurts is going to have a good season.
They don't even want to name him the starter. They don't even want to name him the starter.
Of course they don't. They want to have some type of, you know how, come on. You know how I'm about to say it. Nick, first of all, I don't know what Nick Sirianni's on right now.
Yo, if he named,
you don't have a backup quarterback.
Listen, if
you don't have a backup.
If he named Joe Flacco the starter, I would not be an Eagles fan over. I promise.
I'd be like, Nick, what are you doing, bro? Like, yo, like, what? Oh, but anyway, I would say I feel like the Eagles offensively are going to be way better. I still don't think they're going to have a good record. I just feel like because it's too many, like the defense to me is a big question mark, honestly. Even though we addressed it, I just feel like our defense, offensively, if our offensive line stays healthy, knock on wood. But if we, I don't know. But anyway, back to the AFC South. I'm sorry.
Right.
But yeah.
Let's get back on topic.
Honestly, I have the Titans winning this.
Yeah, right now I got the Titans winning the division. So they are
when
the best
picked up
team.
Julio, it was a done deal for me. I'm sorry. When they picked up Julio, it was a wrap. It was done. You got AJ Brown on one side, you got Julio on the other side. Yeah, Derrick Henry ran out the middle. But I can be quarterback on that team, okay? Like, I was like, bro, like that was a nice little pickup. Now I will say the Jaguars, Duval, they definitely going to step up.
I believe. Now listen, like now, if everything I read is correct, and they make this trade for Zach Ertz this week, like if they make the trade with the Eagles for Zach Ertz, I think they're going to be even more better. Because I know the Eagles still want to move Zach Ertz, even though he's in training camp and he's there. All reports are saying is that Jacksonville wants to make that trade with the Eagles to get him down there to give Trevor Lawrence a bona fide target in the middle of the field.
Bro, he has, man, look, so I say that, honestly, I want to see how Urban Meyer, you know what I'm saying? I think you
coaches at the NFL.
Yeah, you had mentioned it earlier, and I was like, don't get me wrong, I love Urban. I'm a big Urban Meyer fan. It's like Nick Saban and Urban Meyer. Like, I love Urban Meyer. So I really want to see how he does in the NFL. And if he does anything, takes anything out of Dabo Swinney's playbook, let me tell you something, because I'm a Trevor Lawrence fan, and then I'm a Travis Etienne fan too. I'm a sneaky Clemson fan. Okay, so I want to see that boy. I want to see that boy. I'm a bandwagon on that, but I ain't gonna flex. I'm a bandwagon since Deshaun Watson took over. Yeah, I'll
gotcha.
But I really want to see Trevor Lawrence do well. I feel like he's gonna be rookie of the year, unless my boy Devontae Smith, if he can freaking stay healthy. I know you've seen that report.
Oh,
yeah,
we're gonna talk about somebody who ain't healthy right now. Like,
bruh, of all the people, like I was like, yeah, really.
I ain't gonna do that to you.
Nah, dude, it's a fine, bro. Because you know, that's my ball. That's my boy. I know.
I was
like, what?
Yeah.
Everybody was tagging me in that because I've been talking a whole bunch of noise about Devontae Smith.
Right.
So everybody was tagging me on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and I was like, come on, man. But yeah, I need Devontae Smith to do well. I need but I think Trevor Lawrence, he's gonna run away with. He's just naturally gifted. Like
He's
like
naturally gifted.
Andrew Luck, bro. Like 2.0.
Yeah.
He's,
I think they'll probably finish last this year.
But I don't think they're improvement from last year though.
It's gonna be an improvement.
Like 1-2 games.
So it's definitely gonna be an improvement. I think Tennessee will probably win the division. I think the Colts will still be second. And I think the Texans will be third or last. Like it'll be a race between them two who finish in last. Because I don't think Deshaun Watson is going to be playing for the Texans.
Yeah, I know you seen that report. I know you did. You're an Eagles fan. You seen the report. Hey, that was crazy. I was like, Lord Jesus, no. I don't need him. I don't want him right now.
I just want to know, but then that goes back to my whole thing. Then what faith did they really have in the kid?
So that's why you seen the Eagles say they halted it. So that's why that's what I'm saying. So they're like they halted it because like they literally. So this is if I'm an Eagles fan, and I'm an Eagles front office, right? They were like they halted it because they know it's gonna look bad if you trade away Carson Wentz for Jalen Hurts. That's what you did. I don't care what they said. That's what you did.
That's what you did.
And so you meant to tell me you give Jalen Hurts the reins of the franchise just to trade him
for 3 months. For 3 months.
Exactly. So they knew they were gonna look bad. So they're like, nah, dead that real quick. However, Deshaun Watson over Jalen Hurts, I'll take that.
I'll take that.
I love you, Jalen, but you gotta go, bro. You gotta go.
Listen, I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with that.
But yeah, I'm with you though. As far as the records, I feel like Tennessee Titans, and then I had the Colts. I had the Texans last. I had the Jaguars.
Third. Okay. Yeah.
And then I had the Texans last, just because I don't feel like they're going to do nothing. I've had them like number 1 overall draft pick next year, drafting Sam Howell out of North Carolina.
Okay.
So, that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with.
So moving right along on the clock. We're gonna touch on some music. We're not a music podcast, but we're gonna touch on some music today.
Talk about everything and anybody. So what's up?
So we're gonna talk first about verses. Let's talk about verses.
Oh yeah. I told you the locks, bro. I told you. Hey, I was like, Jada. Oh, shoot.
Jada by himself won the verses show.
Listen, hey, and this is how I knew he was going to win the verses, right? So I had to watch it in its entirety. So like I'm getting ready for work, whatever, and I'm blasting the joint. And he comes out and he just stands still while Styles P and them are going crazy. I'm like,
oh, it's about to go.
Y'all don't know, like, and the fact that he activated the butters though. Did you see the butters on his feet? Hey, so I'm like, hey, like y'all don't know, man. Look, and I was telling people, I was like, people that laughing at me, like, you too deep in the trenches. Why you going with the lock? I said it's because everybody got on that Dipset train, but y'all forgot. I said I gotta play all about the Benjamins, and then the crowd will go crazy. That's it. That's the end of the verse.
Here's what was the end for me. And I'm gonna be honest. This was the end for me. First song they played was "F You." That was the end of the show for me.
Disrespectful.
That was it. Yeah. I was done.
I was like, oh shoot! And
like the first song.
I was like, you know, the crazy part is, so everybody knows, everybody that knows T is from the West Coast, right? Mm-hmm. So she knew not one song that was played. Man. I knew about. I didn't know about word. I knew it because of the beat or when I started playing. I'm like, oh, yo, that's crazy. I haven't heard that song in a minute. Right. But I was like, the Locks has been out like from the 90s or whatever. The young Jada. So I was like, and the crazy part is when I was growing up, my older brother, shout out to Stan, SP the Ghost. That's why he got he imitated Jadakiss. So that's why I'm kind of biased when it comes to Jada, because he dressed like Jada. I dressed like him. So like it was so crazy because I was like everything the Locks did, like I said, he got his nickname from them and everything. Yeah, so like it was crazy. Like I was screaming D Block at like 8. So I didn't know what I was talking about, but I was screaming D Block at like 8 years old. Like, so I was like, man, it's crazy. Like a lot of people really don't know. It's like I feel like the younger New Yorkers that were in the crowd, they were going hard for Dipset. I was like, y'all don't, when they were playing Killer Cam and nobody got hyped, I'm like, bro, y'all sick right now because Killer Cam was actually a banger, but nobody was like really feeling it because
it also was the downfall of Dipset also was their lineup and how they played their music.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like the Locks came in very prepared. Like Jada already knew how verses went, so he put them right in order of the way they should have did it. Like they won that easily.
Hey, when he came out and he called them out for not knowing their own lyrics,
he
put that freestyle, not the freestyle, but he did the joint acapella.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I was like telling people, I was like, see, Jada old school. Okay.
Yo, when Joel said to Jada, y'all ain't got nothing for the ladies, and Jada looked at everybody like,
he had played a concert for him. He played a concert for him. I'm over here. I was in here jamming. I was like, oh, I forgot. Boy, you know what? Y'all got it.
Yeah, it was vicious how that went down. That somebody should have threw the white towel in early on that one.
Man, right. Straight Rocky style.
So today we were supposed to have a 3-headed monster today in the form of Nas, Mr. West, and Drake. But we only got Nas. We only got Nas today. Mr. West did another one of them listening parties last night at midnight.
Yeah, I'm trying.
On Apple Music. And it was, listen, the project that he played last night sounded a little bit different than the project he played last week. Listen, I don't know what he really doing, but I saw the pre-order for the album. I saw the track list, 24 songs. I ain't had a 24-song album in forever. Listen here. I bought the pre-order. I'm on the pre-order list. I'm waiting for it to drop. I'll have it. I will be listening to it, and I will give y'all a hell of a review about it. I'm going to give y'all a review about Nas right now. That Nas album, something different. I like it.
I told you.
The Lauryn Hill verse.
I told you. That was the first joint I listened to this morning.
Lauryn Hill verse.
I was like,
that EMPD track now?
Yeah.
That joint is crazy.
And I think, honestly, for real, like, and this is like the kind of shows people maturity. I don't feel like a lot of people can Nas and appreciate it.
Nah.
So that's what I was like. Nas wasn't for everybody because I didn't really hear it. I don't know about you. I didn't really hear a lot of people talk about Nas except like older people.
I mean, I'm in that age group where we talked about Nas because I remember Illmatic. I remember his first album, which is a work of art. So, you know, he's in that GOAT category for me. Like he's in that top 10, top 5 greatest of all time rappers for me. So, you know, like when Jay said the line, who's the greatest MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas, like that's a real thing to me. Like, and he really is in that list. Like, and this touches into our next topic about 90s hip hop versus 2000s hip hop and top 5s. Like that was our next topic anyway. So this is all a great segue. Don't look like that you forgot about that part, huh?
I came prepared, but I just don't like it. I kind of feel like I dug myself in the hole.
And this was your topic. So, but you know, and so this touches on what I want to talk about, which was what Jemele Hill said on the shop. I don't know if you caught that. So what she said was that top 5s need to change because we live in our emotions about the past, but there's new people out here doing great things that deserve to be in top 5s. And she compared it to like the NBA conversation with Bron and Jordan, saying like, you know, everybody says Jordan's the GOAT, but doesn't Bron deserve to be in that conversation or even above him now for all he's done in the league? Again, to me, my GOAT will always be MJ. I could be emotionally invested. I don't really care how people feel about that. I don't care.
Not you. No.
I don't really care how people feel about that. Like if people could say, oh, well, he didn't play against as much athleticism. He played in a slower league. You can say all that stuff you want. You can say all that stuff you want. All that. But he played against greats, though. He played against greats. Greats.
Of course, yeah.
And he stopped a lot of greats from even touching the sniffing a ring.
Yeah, yeah.
Like dudes didn't win when he was in. Like they didn't get a W when he was in. Like
right.
When he went on his run, like when he got there and he got on his run, nobody got a ring unless he took time off.
Oh, so you said, see, this is boy. Because you said when he got on his run, not when he came into the league, right?
No, because everybody's got to go through the growing pains.
Ah, that's what it was. Okay.
Everybody's got to go through the growing pains.
Because we judged LeBron when he came in 03 and 04.
No, I don't judge that.
When he went to 07 and got swept, when he had Boogie Gibson as his second player.
I don't even judge that. But hold on. But what happened after that? Because he got there. He got to the summit, right? So you get to the summit, but then you can't get back until you go to Miami. So let's be real.
You see the team he playing with.
Wait. Because here's my arguments. Because everybody always says it. But you got where you were supposed to get to, right? You got to the Eastern Conference Finals every year, right? So you couldn't close the deal and close the door. And then when you got to Miami the first year, you couldn't close the door. You got to the finals and lost.
I'm not. Listen, and I tell everybody this.
Hold on.
I'm not defending that. I feel like everybody always loves to point out the 2011 meltdown, and I agree. I say like that. I don't agree as far as Skip is the biggest meltdown of any superstar. I don't feel it was a meltdown. I honestly feel like him and D Wade could have figured out who was going to be 1A and 1B. No, you take it. Hey, that's something personal. He has to live with for the rest of his life because he choked. I say that. I always say that. He choked. However, if we're talking about, because we talking about finals, how every time he gets to the finals, he goes there. Well, it was like 8-9 years straight he went there. And he only got, 3? So the issue I had with some of those, one, it was like the 1 to the 2 he won back to back. LeBron was in his prime. He had that 3-point shot. He was killing people. It was a time in his career where we were like, hey, leave LeBron open.
Well, listen, he only should have won one of them actually in Miami. But we're going to leave that alone.
Come on, Skip. Come on. What you gonna say?
We're going to leave that alone.
Allen saved his career? Really? That's what we're going to do? Because we got John Paxson and Steve Kerr that saved Jordan's, right?
They didn't save. They didn't save. They knocked down shots. They knocked down wide open shots.
And that's what Ray Allen did.
No, Ray Allen. Who took the shot before that? Who took the shot before that missed? That caused that rebound?
No, hold on. No.
Answer my question. No. Answer my question.
I'm gonna answer your question. LeBron took the shot and missed.
It missed.
Did he not?
But did he not?
But did he not make the same shot before?
No. And you know whose fault that is? You know whose fault that is? They got that rebound. You know whose fault that is? They got that rebound.
Whose fault is it?
Greg Stupid Popovich. You want to know why? Because you took Tim Duncan. You took Tim Duncan off the floor. If you don't take Tim Duncan off the floor, y'all go back to back.
Man, well, there's so many what ifs.
So again, like I said, people got rings on his watch.
Oh,
people got rings on his watch.
Okay.
When he was finals every year. People got rings on his watch. Did they not? Didn't Kawhi get a finals MVP in his face?
Never did. Didn't deserve it. But
what?
So you get finals MVP for playing great defense now?
Yo, and he was their leading scorer.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't the leading scorer. He got it for playing good defense on LeBron. So same as Iguodala.
Iguodala got it for playing great defense on
him and Kawhi. Man, him and Kawhi got it for playing good defense on LeBron. Okay. Everybody knows that.
Okay, that's fine.
But Tim Duncan was the guy on that team still, as he was like 100 years old. Let's not sit here and act like Kawhi did. So I'm just wondering, did people get rings on his watch? Mm-hmm. Every year he's been in the finals, people have gotten rings on his watch, right? Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to know.
So it's because Jordan went 6-0. That's your argument, because he went 6-0 in the finals.
When he got there.
So when he got 6-0 in the final, that's why. That's your argument.
I was
that's
right
all
there.
I'm asking. That's your argument. That's your argument, because here's the thing. Because everybody that like pumps the Jordan train, I feel like you have short-term memory, and that's the only issue I have.
I don't.
Because
I don't have
short-term memory. Came in 1984 and didn't win until 1991. So between those times, it was 1981 or 1982?
85. To be correct, he came in the 85 draft. So let's number one. Let's start there. He did 3 years of college. So let's start there. So let's start you there. First of all, he was in the 85 draft with him and Barkley. That's number one. So now let's go here.
Jordan got drafted in 1984, sir. Keem Olajuwon went number 1.
Okay, 84. We'll go 84.
We'll go 84.
Okay, so he's drafted at 84.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the worst team in basketball.
Okay.
A team that was called the Traveling Cokeheads. Oh! He's the best player on the Traveling Cokeheads. One Rookie of the Year. Did everything he could to take that team to the playoff. In his second year, with a broken foot.
Oh man, that's crazy. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, we got selective memory when it comes to MJ, right?
Yeah, he broke a foot. Go ahead.
But so did he not go against one of the greatest teams ever in the Boston Celtics? A 3-headed monster.
Don't do that.
Wait,
you're gonna hurt your argument. Don't go there. Don't go there. You're gonna hurt your argument.
You know, you Brown fans like to say that about Golden State. So I just want to point that out. You Brown fans gonna say that about Golden State,
bro. They 73-9.
Do you know
the greatest team?
Do you know what the Lakers record? I mean, you know what Boston's record were during that time?
Boston
was a 68 win team. They was the first team to be close to 70. They had the greatest. They had the greatest record. Listen, hold up. They had the greatest record before the Bulls got the greatest record.
Okay.
So
and what did Jordan do? What did Jordan do?
Jordan won 72-10 and won the final. He won. 72
no.
Remember the greatest team in basketball.
That great Celtics team.
Remember the greatest team in basketball.
What happened?
The greatest team in basketball is the Chicago Bulls team, right? The greatest team in basketball,
baby.
They didn't win it all, though. They didn't win it all, so they're not the greatest team.
Hey, no, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. I still love my 72. Like, no, that team is the greatest one because they didn't win the chip. My thing is that argument that everybody says about how they had the Celtics, then they had the bad boy Pistons, and everybody saying
dominant teams.
So here's my thing.
Teams.
I will say, and this is where the argument. Everybody says
LeBron played in the East. He played in the East where nobody was dominant. Nobody was dominant.
Okay, so
look at the East
argument,
back then.
Here's the argument though. Like one would say, like Shaq. I love Shaq. Shaq always says it best. Like the reason why LeBron's not really looked at as the greatest because he didn't play in the big boy era, and I that part. However, I will say this: everybody saying LeBron couldn't play in the big boy era. I'm sorry to disappoint y'all. I'm about to say I'm sorry to disappoint anybody.
He's soft, but I didn't say he couldn't.
I'm about to say the man is 6'9" and 260. If he wasn't banging with somebody, somebody's gonna get hurt messing with LeBron. I'd say that because remember Jordan had to beef up to play with them other boys, so it's sit there and act like. But I will say this: for Jordan not to even scratch a finals until he got Pippen.
But you can't do it by yourself, and that's proven because that's the same argument you make for LeBron, though.
No.
Everybody makes that same argument.
I agree. No.
You can't make that argument for Jordan and say, "Oh, he only won when he got with Pippen." Well, Bron only won when he got with D Wade.
I agree. No, I'm not saying I'm never.
And Bron is only won when he got with Kyrie. And Bron is only won when he got with AD.
Let's flip that around. Kyrie only won when he got with LeBron. LeBron just went home. LeBron just went home.
No.
Yeah.
No. Because what happened when Kyrie wasn't there? He lost the 2 finals. He lost one.
But he went to the final. What happened to Kyrie?
Kyrie got hurt. He got hurt. So hold on. So again, this goes back to what I'm saying. See, everybody don't want to look at that point because when y'all pointed out about Jordan, y'all want to say, "Oh, he had Pippen all the time. That's why he won." Well, Bron always needed a co-star to win too.
So are we going to create? Let's not create the narrative that because Jordan was a GM. I don't know if anybody knows that, but Jordan was a GM.
How when the GM didn't like him?
So listen, hold on. Here it is. Even though Jerry Calandra, I think that's his name, right?
Jerry Krause,
not the Calandra. That's the USA Olympics. But
yeah,
Krause didn't like Jordan or whatever because Jordan was above the team. I'm sorry to say it, but he was above the team. He was Jordan, right? So the issue I had was like everybody like, well, LeBron's a GM. LeBron has the IQ of
LeBron is the greatest GM ever.
So my thing is like, ain't no GM a better GM than LeBron. So
exactly.
At this point, I'm gonna pick my team, and it's gonna help me the best team to win. Because at the point, if he would have stayed in Cleveland his whole career, he probably would have only won 2 chips. That's real.
Yo, I don't argue that point. I'm not saying you're not right.
So I don't like to act like
But I don't like the narrative that people try to make that Jordan needed Pippen like LeBron didn't need help everywhere he's went to win.
I feel like he played the game at this point. Like when you in the game, and like literally at this
But
point.
what has happened when he hasn't had that person there? He's lost.
But he hasn't even. Listen. Because he lost into the. I don't get that.
No. He lost in the final. Listen, what I'm about to say. What happened when he didn't have AD this year? What round did he lose in?
For the first time in his career.
So wait a minute. Hold on. Listen to what I'm about to say because I want you to hear me out. Don't make the faces. Just listen.
I'm listening.
Don't listen to react. Actually hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
Look at everywhere he's lost at. Look at every time he's lost.
Okay.
Besides the Miami time with D Wade. Take that away. It's the only time he lost where he had a co-star that was a valued co-star.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
His first time in Orlando, there was no value co-star there. He lost. He was losing in the playoffs without a co-star in Cleveland because they didn't have nobody.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get him a second player to play with. He gets to Miami. Him and Wade win.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Wade win.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to Cleveland. You get two other co-stars to play with you now. The first year they both get hurt, you lose.
Okay.
You come back the next year against 73-9, they're both there. What happens? Because you have a co-star, you win. So what does 73-9 do? They go get another demon. Because they knew they couldn't beat y'all three, so they go get a demon to be their fourth player. Now they got a 4 to beat your 3. And they beat you back-to-back years. And what happened? The second year, because Kyrie wasn't there the second year, they lost. He didn't have a second star again. And they got swept. You see what my point is? What happened the first year in LA? Didn't make the finals, right? Why didn't they make the finals? Because Bron didn't have no second star there with him. They go get AD. They go to the finals. They win it. AD gets hurt this year. They get out in the first round. He can't win without a second star. He can't win without somebody else there. That's the same point everybody tries to make about Jordan. It's the same thing with Bron.
Literally what I was trying to say is that you're literally helping my argument when I say, like, stop creating the narrative that LeBron has started this whole playing with the superstar thing, because it's been done since Magic and freaking Kareem. Like, it's been done.
Where? Because Magic was drafted there. Like, again, you're talking about people who were drafted somewhere.
Kareem got traded from the championship winning Bucks to play on the Lakers.
But Kareem was there before Magic got there.
Okay, but still my thing is...
No. You can't table that. You can't table that and say, oh, no, it's because Kareem was already there before Magic got there. Kareem was there.
So they had the number
drafted. Exactly. They drafted.
Okay, so LeBron leaves Cleveland. They drafted Kyrie. He goes back, and now he's teamed up with
a super team. Did he leave? He left, right?
He left.
Did they not trade for Kevin Love?
When LeBron got there.
Answer, Mike. There's no trying to create a narrative. Answer. There's a yes or no. Did they trade for Kevin Love? Because who they drafted was Andrew Wiggins. So they traded Wiggins on draft night for Kevin Love.
It definitely was after draft night. It was
draft night. It was draft night.
The only reason why I remember it was after draft night because they couldn't get the trade done on draft night. He was a Cleveland Cavalier for like 3-4 days. It was definitely. I'm just saying.
He never put a Cleveland uniform on.
No, he never played a Cleveland game. What I'm saying is,
LeBron had
already came that summer before the draft.
He had already made the call that they needed to trade for Kevin Love when he was coming back.
They said trade the number 1 overall pick
to get Kevin Love.
To get Kevin. Hey, he said he wanted Kevin Love. So here's the thing. All right, let's take it back. Since everybody's saying, like, because LeBron did it, right? Because I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Laker fan.
Boston drafted, right? Boston drafted their big 3, right? Not the later big 3, not the Paul Pierce. I'm talking about Bird, McHale, and Parrish, the winning big 3.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Parrish. Did
McHale come from the Trailblazers over, or did he go to the Trailblazers after?
No, McHale was drafted by Boston. Mikal was
I
drafted.
don't know.
Bill Walton came from the Trailblazers to them.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't part of the big three. He was old and washed by that time. His knees was bad. He was just on the bench being a big man, being a reserve. You look at the Pistons. The Pistons drafted, but everybody. They drafted everybody but Mark Aguirre, who they traded for.
Yeah.
Mark Aguirre is the only person they traded for, but that team was built. Same thing with the Bulls. That team was built. They drafted Pippen. They traded for him on draft night. They knew they wanted Scottie in that draft, and they made that trade with Seattle. Scottie was supposed to be a supersonic. He wasn't supposed to be a Bull. But the Bulls knew what they wanted. So they made that deal on draft night to get Scottie.
So the point is...
Hold on. Let me finish.
Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
So when you draft that way, look at Golden State. That's all drafted besides when they went to go get KD. The first championship, that's all drafted players, right? It's a drafted team, except for the Finals MVP, who was a guy they acquired to give them leadership because they had a bunch of young guys. But he wasn't the star. The stars was Steph, Clay, and Draymond. He left where he was at. He came back after he got his rings and he learned how to win sitting next to D Wade, as they say. That's the quote, right? He went down to Miami to learn how to win from Pat Riley and another Laker guy, right? Because Pat is the guy. Mafia Pat is the guy.
Yeah.
So when we talk about it, when I talk about Bron, I don't have a dislike for Bron. I think Bron is the best player of this generation, hands down. Do I think he's over Kobe? No, I don't think he's over Kobe either. But a lot of people like to put him there. A lot of people like to put him in that one spot. I don't understand how you skip Cole.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But you was just doing that because you was just saying he should be at the top of the list.
No. So I don't want you. I know you probably heard a lot of things and you probably want to misquote me. I'm saying I don't like the narrative I don't like about LeBron is that LeBron is like, oh, like he's the GOAT or whatever. I feel like when his career is over, he will probably be the GOAT. That's my thing. I've always said that his career's not over. So I can't say here like based on what you've done, you're the GOAT because you're not finished yet. So you can win.
What, he got 4 rings or he got 5 now?
He got 4.
He got 4. So he's still behind Kobe, right? He's still behind Kobe, right?
Exactly.
He got 4 wins and 6 losses, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand how you go.
So that's the thing. Like it's so funny that legit Jerry West is the logo, but he has a losing finals record. I don't understand it. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like because it's legit. The reason why everybody hates LeBron is because LeBron self-proclaimed himself as being the chosen one. Let's keep it a
He didn't call himself the chosen one.
No. He has a tattoo on his back. What are you talking about?
That's after ESPN wrote that on the magazine.
No. I promise you. LeBron came into the league in 03 with the chosen one on his back.
His high school Sports Illustrated magazine cover says
he put it on his back. He took it and he decided to wear the number 23. Like you can't sit here and put a target on your back like that and say I'm the chosen one. I got a tattoo on my back and I'm wearing number 23 and say nothing. And I don't think people are going to judge you extra. Like, come on. That's like me calling myself the Black Mamba. And those people like, really? You the next Kobe? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, LeBron put the target on his back, so he deserves all the criticism. What I'm saying is, I feel like everybody discredit his stats.
Is he the GOAT?
Nah. Kobe's the GOAT. I'm always going to say that. I always say Kobe's the GOAT. Sorry.
This generation or GOAT overall?
I say he's the GOAT overall. I personally, and this is not discredit Jordan. Jordan's 6-0, never to be disputed. People wear his shoes, whatever. But for me personally, I fell in love with the basketball, and I did
because of Kobe Bryant.
Because of Kobe Bryant.
Gotcha.
So he's always going to be the greatest of all time for me, regardless of what people say about Jordan. I didn't fall in love with Jordan. I didn't really care about Space Jam and him and the Monsters. I didn't give a fuck personally. By the time I started watching basketball, Jordan had just won, and he retired. And he came back in 03. Meanwhile, Shaq and Kobe were dominating LA. So that's where I'm at right there. You just left.
I got you.
That's why I tell everybody all the time.
You didn't see 72 and 10. You didn't see the Jordan on two three-peats. Like you didn't see that Jordan. I get it.
So
you didn't see the 5-time MVP. I got it. Like we good. I got you. I'm here. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you that.
So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't get me wrong. All that I don't think it'll ever be duplicated ever again, right? But at the same time, I feel like a lot of people discredit LeBron and what he's done. I get it, we're not gonna call him a GOAT, but I think for me personally, his career is not over. I can't sit here and be like, oh, in midway through your career, you're the GOAT or whatever, and you're not finished. You
That's
can mess around.
But that's what people like Shannon do. Shannon calls him to go on top. Go James.
Because, bro, listen, Shannon, Shannon.
That's your man. That's your
man. I love Shannon because of comedy. Don't get it twisted. I don't believe everything he says. He can say some weird stuff like from his grandma and them back down south or whatever, and it's funny or whatever. So like that's the reason why I like Shannon. I think he keeps it real. Unlike Stephen A. Stephen A. has the same soliloquies. That's the word he likes to use on the show. He has the same soliloquies he uses all the time for like the past 10 decades. So I'm like, yo, I ain't got time. But what I say about LeBron is LeBron, I feel like deserves way more.
We went way off topic. I just want to point
I don't care. I don't care. I feel like LeBron doesn't get credit or whatever for the things that he's accomplished in the league. He went to 10 straight finals, and we just like, oh, because you didn't win all 10 of them, you're trash. Like I feel like that's disrespectful because
he went to 9 straight.
I could have swore he went to 10.
He's been at 10 total, 9 straight.
Oh, 9 straight.
07, okay. 07 was the first one.
Yeah, you're right. So like, but he went to 9 straight is like whatever. Like because you didn't win all 9 of them, it's like, bro, like you don't count. Like that 20 it was recently that 2018 thing with Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance. We damn sure know like he should never even sniff the finals. But when you lead the like a lot of as a stat I seen on Facebook randomly, we were saying LeBron
he led all statistics in that finals.
Bro, right. Like what player is like doing stuff? Like he's literally putting a team on his back, and you're like, well, because he didn't finish and get the chip, he's trash. But it's been proven legit. We just sat here talking about all the great duos and teams that you can't do it by yourself. So like that's why I say like. So no, I'm not saying y'all. I'm saying like for people that like this is the argument like, well, LeBron can't bring a chip to himself. Nobody has. Legit, Dirk Nowitzki was probably the last player we remember to do a team by himself, right? It was him and a whole lot of good players. Like
and that's the guy who beat LeBron for his chip.
Bro, listen and look, and I always tell people
with JJ Barea. I just want to point that out.
And Jason Terry, high 2 stock Jason wearing Terry. So like, so that's why I always tell people all the time, like, we don't give Dirk Nowitzki his credit, but I just feel like that once people, I'm not saying, like I said, I don't believe he's the GOAT, even though my little brother, shout out to Josh, he believes LeBron's the best thing walking. But at the same time, I was like, look, he's done a lot, and I just don't feel like a lot of his accomplishments, because of media now, Twitter and all that stuff, and we could pick apart analytics and all that. That's what happened. That's what happened to us. Because I feel like if Jordan would have had Twitter and the analytics and all that going back then, it wouldn't have been a pretty sight. Because it's like everybody didn't. Devin Booker dropped 70 and nobody cared about it because he lost. But Jordan dropped 60 in a loss, and everybody's like, oh my God, is that God walking? Like, bro, like, because we didn't have Twitter and social media to put it out there like that. So, so that's why I said, like, I feel like social media is also a big thing too. That's why LeBron gets so much hate, because we got so many Twitter fingers that can talk trash about him. But I'm sorry that we got off topic, everybody. That's what happens when you don't be on the clock.
It happens. So we're gonna table our music conversation. We're gonna table this 90s versus 2000s conversation. We're gonna table it for a second, and we're gonna table that, and we're gonna table our top 5 list of hip hop artists. We're gonna table that, and we're gonna go into our topic of the day. And we have a special guest coming on, a gentleman by the name of Omar. Jamar can give him an introduction once he comes on.
I'm about to say, hey, give me 1 quick second. You about to bring him on right now?
Yeah. I'm actually, I just hit him to come into the room. So there we go. All right.
Let me hear you say something real quick.
Wait for his mic to connect. All right, Omar, can you hear us? We can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
All right, let me see. He needs to connect his audio.
It says Omar is connected. Did not connect the audio. Make sure your mic is not muted.
Hello?
All right, Omar, how are
There we
you?
go.
All right, welcome to B&B on the clock. I'm Coach Reggie. You already know JB the Kid One over there. I would like for you to introduce yourself, Omar, to our listeners and our followers and everyone who watches and is on the clock with us.
Hello, I am Omar. I don't need what else. What else y'all want?
Who you are? How do you know? JB
I'm about to say, I'll introduce him. How about that?
Okay.
So this is actually one of the first NCOs I had when I came in the Army in 2011 at Fort Irwin. Hey, Reggie, mute your mic real quick. Hey, he was one of the first NCOs I had, and he was one of the guys that I remember. I was meeting him and talking about a few weeks ago, and I was just like, I remember me and my battle buddies was like, man, he was different. Now, he wasn't wired like how we just came out of basic AIT. He wasn't wired to think like a robot. And I was like, man, I want to be like that. Like, he don't care about what anybody says about him or whatever. But yeah, I'm about to say, I'm about to call you Sergeant Woods. Look, don't call you. Hey, look, but it was crazy. But yeah, I remember like we were like I said kids, but when we first came in, we were like, oh, Sergeant Woods, like he didn't show up to work, like, and nobody said nothing. Like it was what it was. But like honestly, like that was the way he carried himself. Like he kind of held his head high. He knew there was whispers about him in our unit, and like a lot of people just like didn't like him because he just spoke his mind or whatever. And like to this day, I told him a couple of weeks ago, like to this day, I'm one of them dudes that like speak their mind. I honestly in the Army, and I don't care how people feel about it. That's one of the things I kept. They always tell you in the Army, like take some things from NCOs that you actually do. That's like one of the biggest things, like being able to speak your mind and still be an individual, even though the Army would try to make you a robot. So that was like one of the biggest things. And if he offends somebody, it is what it is. I never really heard him. If he's wrong, I feel like he'll apologize, but I don't really feel like he's wrong a lot of times because he's speaking from opinions, and you can't be wrong when you have opinions. So that's why I say a lot of stuff. That's why I say I do speak really highly of him. In the past decade, he's always checked over me every phase of life. Got married. He wished me congratulations. Like he still stayed in touch with me. Had a kid. He reached out to me. He's always reached out even when I was like different duty stations and all that. So big shout out to him. It's feel weird calling you Omar, but I mean that's your name. And you can tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you located, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, just give us a little synopsis of who you are.
I am in LA, from Arizona.
Okay.
Got out. Damn, how long ago did I get out? 9 years ago. And moved here to LA.
Okay, cool. So we definitely want to welcome you to the show. Our topic today is the baby and his insensitive comments that was made during the concert that he was at Rolling Loud. Couldn't think of the festival at the time. At Rolling Loud. I know you had some things you wanted to say about that, so I'm gonna let you take the floor first.
Yes, they were insensitive, dangerous. I'm not going to even say insensitive. That's softening it. They were dangerous. People have died because of those words. Not his particularly, but the same language. People will continue to die because of the same language and possibly his words, his influence. And so that's where I'm upset with it. I'm trying to get the right words so I'm not all messed up. And what am I allowed or not allowed? Not allowed.
You are allowed to go as far as you want to go.
Because as you see, I'm wearing titties and a dick today.
I even peeked that jaw, bro. That's wild. Oh shoot.
But it's just what he said is wrong. highly dangerous. Blood could possibly be on his hands, if you want to say indirectly, because of his words. And he should be held accountable. I'm not saying cancel him, because what the fuck is cancel? He's going to be paid regardless. But should they hit his pockets right now? Absolutely. Should he be canceled from all of these things? Absolutely.
So okay, that's where I want to start it right there. So as a black male, you feel like another black male should be canceled.
I didn't say canceled. I said held accountable and
but you just said his
punished.
pocket should be. You said his pocket should be hit. So as a black man, you feel like another black male should be his money should be taken from him, because that's what you're mostly.
I'm saying. I just said he's going to be paid regardless. His money is making money. His music already out there is making money. Him being canceled from shows, that is going to hit his pocket.
Right.
Do I agree with it? Yes. Because again, he said something that is dangerous. He was already problematic and an issue to me before he even said this. I'm not a fan of his. I support what he does. Just because I'm not a fan doesn't mean I hate. And I'm going to find a reason to come against a person. No. I do believe with this particular situation, he pissed off the right people with the wrong subject, whites. Because he, again, has always been an issue. He's shown violence toward Black women for a hot minute now. Ain't nobody said nothing. Not a word.
Not a damn thing.
Not a word.
See,
he pissed off.
facts,
So this is all about racism.
Facts.
Homophobia is a pillar of white supremacy.
Interesting.
Okay.
I like that take.
I like that take.
Yeah, I'm about to say I like that take. And this to kind of piggyback on what you just said right there. Me and you had talked, Omar, about a couple of weeks ago when we had our first topic earlier, and we were talking about how like this naturally you have to. It's like you know your crowd, because I feel like you literally hit it on the head. Like I feel like if white people that don't listen to the baby, all they heard was comments, right? That's all you hear is comments. Like, what did he say? And it's like that got pressed out big. And next thing you know, white people that are in charge of these festivals, these big festivals that are happening, because they want to make everybody happy, which includes the LGBTQ community. I had to make sure I said that right. But
Q plus.
Oh, my bad.
You've got the plus.
But yeah, so honestly, I felt like because he pissed off the right people, and I feel like I was telling Reggie on about a couple weeks ago as well. It's the same thing with the whole Nick Cannon situation. Nick Cannon just pissed off the wrong people. It's all helping to own the TV station. Was it VH1? I think it was. He pissed off Viacom. Right. He pissed off the right people, and I feel like that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Because like literally, just what you said, that was my argument. I said he been smacking people and punching people in the face for how long? Him and the security guard, right? I'm from Charlotte, so he messed around and was involved with a murder in Walmart in Charlotte, and like it was nothing, right? So like the issue I had with a lot of people was like we in the Black community is like whatever you say, what you say, or whatever. And Omar, I was telling you in the Black community, we don't talk about this kind of stuff, right? It just gets brushed under the rug. So it's not gonna get brought up on our side. I can promise you, we're still gonna listen to Masterpiece and whatever the baby's putting out. We still gonna be in the club listening to it. Like you say, still good money roll. But as far as festivals, I was like, I feel like the whole festival thing personally was hyped up because I was like, okay, he's gonna go to these festivals, but yeah, he has a whole album out right now. There's every time you press play, he gets money. So I'm not understanding like what the big deal is. Okay, he didn't get tickets for being on this tour, but at the same time, like he's still getting paid. All he has to do is put out another album. But Reggie, comments?
I want to touch on something that Omar said. He said his comments were dangerous.
Yes. No, yeah, dangerous.
Dangerous. Because I've read that in multiple headlines, and I want to understand what you mean by dangerous. Because
okay, so
hold on, let me table it first for you. So I'm gonna table it where you can answer this correctly. when you said dangerous, and the hip hop community at concerts, shows, things of that nature, what is the difference between all the bitches with the fat asses, put your cell phone lighters up?
You got a fat ass. I'm gonna put my lighter up if I got a fat ass. Hell, I might put my ass up too.
All the bitches that's fucking tonight, throw your cell phones up. What's the difference?
If I'm fucking tonight, I'm putting my cell phones up too.
What is different from what he said about sucking dick in the parking lot? What's the
he
difference?
Said more than that sucking dick in the parking lot, and that's
I might say that.
But again, no one has a problem. No one has a problem with the other side of that coin. Everyone has a
dick in the parking lot.
I'm about to say I disagree. I feel like people had an issue with the whole AIDS comment. I think that
they had an issue with the AIDS comment, and they had an issue with the sucking dick comment. And I'm trying to understand both. Because
go ahead.
Because if he said, because I want to quote him, so let me go here and read it again. If you didn't show up tonight with HIV or any of them deadly transmitted diseases,
okay,
then put your cell phone lighter up.
Let's stop right there.
Go ahead.
Let's go right there.
That's the quote. That's the official quote.
Yeah, that's the quote. I got my notes too.
Listen, we came to pod. Let's pod. We came to pod.
So that is, I interpreted like that's dirty. Somebody with an STD is dirty, or an STI. That's dirty. That's shaming that person with that illness. And so further shaming somebody and making them feel dirty, like how many people do you know with HIV?
I know
plenty. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
I had a cousin, a straight woman that died of AIDS.
Okay.
A straight woman.
Mm-hmm.
Did she have to die? No, she died because she refused treatment from the shame and stigma of having the virus. So she told the family she had cancer.
Okay.
So with him saying this, makes that person or whoever those people are feel even worse because they already ostracized from community for having this disease of filth. No, it's not a disease of filth. Do you ask a person who they got cancer from, how they got cancer, and then treat them different because?
Probably not.
Probably not.
So what's the difference?
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
So
that's a huge issue. Like having that disease, and I'm 38. HIV/AIDS has been a thing for 40 years. So my entire lifetime.
Nice. Right. Me too. I'm 39.
Has been this. Currently, there are 1.2 million people in this country living with HIV.
Right.
46% of them look like us.
Right.
So he's speaking to his own people.
We are the highest demographic.
Healthcare. So again, this falls back under white supremacy. This is a nasty cycle.
Right.
However, we are all we need to break that cycle and not be a part of it. You don't have to be white to uphold white supremacy. And so what he said just made others feel worse than what they already have, or what they might possibly have. Scared to go get tested if they out there doing whatever, because there's multiple ways to get HIV/AIDS. Hell, there's some people born with it. They couldn't help. They couldn't help to be born with it. So why make them feel like they're less than?
So my question to you, Omar, is you use the word dangerous. I feel like for myself, being a heterosexual African American, I just want to know how the words that he said were dangerous. Because when I think of danger, if I think of the word dangerous, right, I want to see how is that making that person applicable to receiving some type of dangerous threat or threat on their life when you're calling them out like that.
It's dangerous because of that shame, because it's going to keep somebody from going to the clinic to get tested just in case they get infected. It's going to keep that person from that clinic. And then who's to say they infect others?
Okay.
And then they get sick and then don't get treated. And then that's when the virus kills. And you don't die of AIDS. You die of complications. Of
course. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so from what I'm understanding, correct me if I'm wrong. You feel free to like chime in. So basically, what you're saying is, which I do agree with, is like because he called the people out. There's some people that like, wow, like so when you hear the word of they're out there trying to have a good time. I can picture it now. You out there trying to have a good time. People performing all day. You turned up, touching elbows with people. I don't know if y'all seen that crowd. It was kind of crazy out there.
It was crazy.
It was. He said something like that, and then all of a sudden you feel like you second guessing yourself or whatever. It's like, bro, like, but you got, hey, bro, you out here looking kind of weird because after he said that, whatever, you straight. So I can. Is that what you're kind of saying? Like more so, you kind of feel dirty after he said that.
No, for those like there's the guilt and the shame of having it. There's people who have it that won't speak on it because of that. That won't go get tested. I get tested regularly.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's the responsible thing to do as an adult. Married, single, whatever.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Fair enough. I definitely have a better understanding of what you mean. What you mean by that?
Oh, I ain't done with Omar. I have another.
Oh no, I got questions for him too.
I'm about to say, I got another one because me and him talked about it. I got questions for my man's right here because I got.
So Reggie, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. What are you about to say?
So Reggie is like, would I throw him away? No, I'm not throwing him away, but he just threw his own brothers and sisters away with that one comment. Now the next comment. So we didn't throw him away. He just threw himself away.
Okay.
Hell, let's look at a hip hop legend, if you want to call him a legend. Eazy-E. How did he die? A straight identifying man.
Was
he dirty? Was he dirty in Less Than?
No.
Okay, so he just threw a legend away. Somebody that paved the way in the career that he's in.
Boy,
he just threw that man away and saved him.
You about to step on some toes with that one. That was good.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Right there. That was good right there.
Good.
That was good. I like that one. I was gonna say Magic Johnson because I love sports, but I like the Eazy-E one because
Magic Johnson.
Man.
Right. So Jamar, you said you had another question for him. What?
Yeah, I had a question, and this is something like I said, me and him talked about like was it like almost 3 hours we were on the phone talking about it, Omar, about a couple of weeks ago. But I want you to publicly kind of say your thoughts. So I asked Omar about a couple of weeks ago when we had talked about homosexuality in the Black community, and I asked him, I was like, "Do you think that the LG?" Yeah. So I thought they were pushing the narrative because I felt like at this point society is scared, right, of where they pushing the narrative, like people are just like they're scared to say something because they don't want to look like the bad guy, right? Because like they see everybody else get canceled and all these bad tweets and oh my gosh, you shouldn't have said this or whatever. So now they're accepting it because they feel like it's being forced. So you feel like because the question one is, do you feel like it's being forced? And two, if you do feel like it's being forced, why do you feel like it's being forced? And like, why do people go through so drastic judgments on them instead of educating the baby, right? I feel like we're too quick to punish. Because when Nick Cannon came out with his little thing about Jewish people, we had people like Julian Edelman, who's Jewish NFL player, came out, was educated and whatever. He apologized, which the baby did about 3-4 times, right?
Once.
And then he definitely did twice. He definitely did twice.
Now he's done two.
He did twice.
He's done 2 public apologies. The second one wasn't.
Wait. I'm trying to rethink. Let me look at these notes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll say twice because the second one was his PR. It wasn't him. Next.
Well, I mean, he said
half of celebrity apologies though are from the PR. Let's be real. Ain't nothing coming from the wholehearted. Somebody typing that joint up for you because let's give it a bean. Like unless you're an old school celebrity,
when you at that level, it's all PR.
Yeah, it's all PR. It's all PR.
And
so to answer my question first, please.
What's being pushed? What exactly?
The agenda.
Being pushed?
Do you feel like the homosexuality agenda?
Do I feel like the homosexual or the gay? Because I can only speak for me, being a gay man. But do I feel like the gay agenda is being pushed? No.
Please elaborate.
Yeah,
I already had this conversation, so I'm gonna look at. Go ahead. Please elaborate.
Well, yes.
Is the black agenda being pushed?
The black agenda has been pushed for the last 10 years. So let's try this again. So the black agenda was pushed for the last 10 years, even more so after George Floyd and Black Lives Matter. So the black agenda has been pushed for a while. The LG. So let's look at TV. Let's look at TV. And you can look at commercials, and this will tell you how the agenda was being pushed. Blacks were being pushed into TV, and even more so interracial. And like I said on the last pod when we talked about this, interracial dating was being pushed as well. They were being pushed because it's being put in everywhere that you look at it. So in every commercial, there's always a little black girl with a white family, or there was a little black boy who had a black mom, but he had a white dad. The black family doesn't get pushed like that. So understand. So now, when you look at TV, what are you seeing more of on TV more now today? Two gay men.
I don't watch TV.
Okay, so I'll help you out. 2 gay men and a child. So they're pushing the homosexuality family on America as well. But they won't push the black family. So the question is, that agenda is being pushed on us, and why?
So
it would be more acceptable?
Yeah,
I can only speak as a black gay man. I can't speak as only a gay man. No. I am black and gay. They're both simultaneous and wrapping each other. I wasn't one before the other. I was both at the same time, and it will always be both at the same time.
Exactly.
Okay.
So on TV, we already know how that's controlled.
Yeah. There you go.
So it does. How do I want to say it? It's only going to be pushed a certain way.
Yeah.
Because certain people push it. Again, back to the baby. He pissed off the wrong people, the right people with the wrong subject.
Exactly.
That's it. Because he's been problematic the entire time. He's been famous.
Mm-hmm.
He's been violence against black women. Now, if he would have slapped a white woman, it would have been different a long time ago, but he didn't.
Hey.
So, back to Jamar's, is the gay agenda being pushed? Do I feel? No. Because why can't the gay family be normalized? Why? What's wrong with the gay family? If I wanted to have kids and my child looks at TV and doesn't see the 2 daddies on TV like is going on at home, so they feel like they're getting made fun of, why is that wrong? Or a little girl, why is that wrong?
But the black family is not shown on TV. So
the black family is not shown on TV. But guess what? That's when I'm going to revert to 1990s TV and show the Cosby Show, Family Matters, and So What? That's when I'm going to revert and be parent and take them back to my childhood.
Exactly. But the agenda that's being pushed now, it's not about the black family or even the white family for that matter.
Okay, so that's when I revert and show them how I see they should go and show them family and show them all the dynamics of family.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, so my point was, and I think, like I said, Omar, we had talked about it too. So my point was just simple, like you said, I was like growing up for me, like you said, we had the shows like Family Matters, Cosby Show, hell, even the freaking growing up a little bit, like in my preteen years, we had the Proud Family, right? Like it was black family shown everywhere. Like it was like legit shown everywhere. And then legit, as an adult now, right, it became more comfortable because back in the day, people were like, it was more people in the closet than it was. And it was crazy because, like I was telling you, I lived through comedy growing up. So like comedians used to joke about it all the time, where like, oh, you in the closet, you don't say nothing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't talk about this person or their lifestyle, their choices. It was their choice. Don't ask, don't tell.
Choice.
Right.
Again, that word, it's not a choice.
We'll get to that segment too, because we're gonna talk about that too. Cause that was the majority. Sorry, Reggie. That was like legit. Like that was the meat of our conversation. We will get to that in a minute.
Oh, you gonna keep saying things that's gonna keep him ready to go off for you. I just want to point
hey, nah, but
I'm not going
I'm
off.
here for it.
I prayed before this shit.
I'm not saying. Yeah, hey, that was funny as shit. Hey, but nah. So like my thing was like back then, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't really talk about like I was saying the lifestyle choices. Like we didn't talk about the everybody's private life. You do your thing, we do our thing. That was it. But I say now because like legit because of social media and how we progressed in the technological world, I feel like a lot of stuff is getting to the forefront. Right. So now we get to see it now. We're visual people. So now we get to see a lot of things now. When Obama instituted the whole gay marriage thing and the people were going to the forefront and they were getting married or whatever, it was a beautiful thing for the communities or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a big thing. Pride parades are now getting like it's a big deal compared to about like 10 years ago when it was like.
It's always been a big deal for 50 years.
But listen, hear me out.
It's always been a big deal.
Listen, you ain't got to tell me that. I live in California. Okay, so I seen it first.
Don't even have to do with California.
No, I'm saying, but listen, trust me. On the East Coast back 10 years ago, it was not a big deal.
It was.
Where in
Philadelphia has one of the biggest pride parades every year. It's been that way for.
I'm about to say. I will say New York
has one. New York.
I'm gonna say New York, but I'll say Philly.
Yes, that's right. Dude, they have a whole section. No.
Now
they have a whole section in the city that is dedicated to that community.
Now,
and it's been there for 50 years. That whole section of the city's been there for 50 years.
But
so understand something, and they have a pride parade in there every year. So it's not. You can't say that it's not.
You're missing the point.
I'm not missing the point.
Yes, you are. You didn't hear what I just said. I said what's happening now in the media world. Everything is getting portrayed. It could have been the 50 years, but it wasn't making it past the local network. It wasn't on the national level.
In Philadelphia, it does. That's what I'm trying to say.
So
you didn't live in Philadelphia.
I just said, Reggie. And
you want to say you said on the East Coast that it did, and it does. It's big.
Listen, what I'm saying, I'm talking about on a national level. On a national level. That's literally what I'm saying. When on a national level, the stuff wasn't getting put on. I don't care what 10 years ago when I came in the Army. Trust me, I promise you. It wasn't on a national level. I grew up in Pennsylvania for the majority of my life. I only lived in North Carolina for like 7-8 years. I promise you, it wasn't on a national level.
Right, you lived in Harrisburg. You lived in Harrisburg.
Harrisburg is only an hour away from Philly.
It's central Pennsylvania. That's the sticks and rednecks. They're not going to promote it. So let's try this again.
I promise you that Harrisburg is not the sticks and redneck. I promise you that. What it was called? It's not the sticks and redneck. And you could do all that phrase, but you didn't live there. So you trust me, not the sticks and rednecks. But what I will say is that I promise you on local television, because I know about the Philly Pride Parade. I'm tracking. But as a kid in Pennsylvania, I knew. I went to California. We were hearing
again. Philly. I'm sorry, Philly's not Pennsylvania. I forgot. I keep forgetting that because we say that all the time. We're not the rest of the state. We're not the rest of the state.
Omar.
I'm just trying to explain it.
Did you hear anything about the Philly Pride Parades on the national level while you were living in Cali?
I didn't hear anything about Philly at all.
Bars and the discussion. So that's what I'm saying. Like on a national level, it wasn't happening. Now it's getting put on a national level. We see the different pride parades that happen all over. That's what I'm saying. Back then, it wasn't happening because the media was now pushing it full front. That's what I'm saying. You're right, Reggie. Like for like the past 50 years, and my mom and dad talk about it all the time. I'm tracking it. Like literally, I'm tracking it. I get what you're saying, but I'm saying like on a national level, I wasn't hearing it on a national level. Your mic is muted, bro.
You also was like 17.
But I still had old heads around me. I still had old heads around me though.
Was still like a kid though.
I still had old.
You gotta realize. I'm older. I'm older than you.
Okay, yeah, you're older than me, but I'm. It's not like I'm oblivious.
And I've been all over before you've been all over. So again, I've been other places. You're saying that it wasn't big when it was.
So on a national level, Philly Pride Parade was a big deal back 10 years ago. That's what you're saying,
dude. People come from all over for the Philly Pride Parade.
It wasn't media on the. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it wasn't on a media.
You're saying media, but in their community, it's big.
Okay, in the community,
you're talking media doesn't control community.
So I have a question. When you think of pride parades in little streets or whatever, the first place you think is the little street up in freaking California. That's the first thing you think. Why? Because I promise you.
He just shook his head no.
So what do you think of?
He's in the community.
What the first thing
he's in the community. So
Omar, what do you think of the first place when you ever heard in the news? Everybody said go to Cali.
New York.
East Coast.
I always heard Cali. Maybe then, man, that might be like me being biased. I'm about to say I was on the East Coast. Everybody told me to go to Cali because that's where all the sunshines and rainbows.
Now we're a little more open here, and I've never been to the Bay, but that they do have a pretty big community there. I've never been there.
You are correct.
Pride is so much. It's there's not one city's better than the other. It all happened at the same time. Can you say what human in what country started fire first or made the wheel? No, it happened simultaneously across all people. It was something that happened all at once.
Well, I'm about to say, yeah. So all I'm saying is that I was saying, like, me personally, I was like growing up, like legit. Don't get me wrong, like Reggie's right, like legit. That community's been. Trust me, my brother went to Temple, so it's not nothing I didn't like. He used to come back home on the weekend and talk about Philly as a whole. So like I used to like legit. So I used to hear about crazy stuff. But like, man, this ain't never happened in Harrisburg. We too hood. Like it was like, you know what I'm saying? It was like stuff. I was like, bro, like that would never happen here, right? But it was crazy because, like you said, I love the point you said for the last 50 years, because my old heads used to talk about how to go down to Philly, certain streets in Philly or whatever. Like, hey, that's not where you want to be after a dark time. It was a joke. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying
it's
like
serious. That's not a joke. That's real.
No, they used to joke about it. I'm not saying it was a joke. I'm saying
let me explain, because I'm from there. So let me explain this to you. When they said it like that, it really was. That's not where you wanted to be at if you wasn't in that community. Or, you know what I'm saying to you? Like, it's a joke to us as straight men, but in reality, like, if you ain't in that community, you shouldn't be down there.
Facts. I think my thing was growing up.
And I'm not saying it in a way of like, you shouldn't be down there because somebody's going to rape you or anything like that. I'm not saying it that way. I'm saying, like, if you're a straight man and that offends you or it turns you off or whatever it may be, you shouldn't be in that. You don't want to be down there.
Yeah. So like I was telling like people like legit. I was telling Reggie about a week ago that a lot of my family used to hustle out of Philly. So like a lot of the stories I used to hear as like growing up or whatever would come out of Philly or whatever. He's like, okay, boom, boom. I knew you would have thought I lived there the way that all these stories were happening. And so what I was telling people was like, when I got in the Army, I got my first piece of like mainstream media. I know the difference between local media and mainstream media. Right. And so what I used to hear about pride and gay pride and all that, it all came from either. Now, Omar, you are right. Now I'm thinking about it. New York and California were the two spots I ever heard of. That was it. The crazy part is like Philly wasn't that big on a national level. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't like we're gonna stop hold everything. So that's why I say now when you got places like Nebraska, right, having pride parades and they getting put through main media. I feel like the narrative now is being pushed, more heavily, and it's forcing people to like, if you say something bad about us, now we have something bad to say about you, or we don't listen to you, or we don't do that. So why is it? Because like we like, hey, if we as heterosexual males say, hey, nah, we don't fuck with that publicly, right? I'm talking about celebrities. I'm just talking about celebrities. But even as the local man, the regular person, regular smuggler, dude, like, nah, I don't fuck with that. And it's like, oh, what you trying to say? Like, you like, oh, well, you homophobic now, or you a homophobe or whatever. Why is it always like we just can't be heterosexual males or heterosexual females? Why is it like why is that narrative being pushed? I know I'm kind of ruffling some feathers, but I want to get your point of view.
You're ruffling feathers because a straight man can't say, or a straight man feels like he can't say, I don't deal with that and whatnot.
Without consequence. Without
without
consequence. That's the big thing.
consequences. Well, you can't say a bunch of things without consequences. You can't be called a nigga without consequences, right?
You can't what?
You gonna let somebody come up and call you nigga?
So you saying so because so you are you
You're
are you
Ain't nobody gonna call him to me.
no. Are you comparing to saying the N-word to saying because we saying we heterosexual and we say that's the same thing right now?
For me.
Jesus,
Again,
difference.
I'm
Okay, go ahead.
two at the same time. So I can only speak for me. You ain't gonna call me no nigga and be okay and walk away, and you ain't gonna call me no fucking faggot and be okay and walk away. I'm both at the same time. So I'm only speaking for me. I can't speak for the entire community because the entire community doesn't look like me.
Okay.
I'm speaking for me.
So I'm not saying.
So you got to take yourself out of that. You got to take your blackness. I'll say that. You got to take your not your blackness. You got to take your straightness out of the equation.
Why do I have to take? Wait a minute.
Yes,
why do I have to take my straightness out of it, but you can't take your gayness out of it?
I can take my gayness out of it. Well,
but you don't.
No. Let me. No. Again, I'm black and gay at the same time.
Black and straight at the same time.
So why are you so threatened about us just being? Just being.
You can be all you want. Why are you threatened if I say anything about it? Why does it bother you so much?
Why do you have something to say about it?
I'm not allowed to give my opinion.
Hold on.
Wait. So no. Jabbar, hold on. So this is what straight people are saying. We are not allowed to give our opinions about your community without some type of backlash.
But why are you governing my community? Why are you?
We're not governing. We can talk about other straight people just fine, but we can't talk about y'all because then it's insensitive and it's wrong.
My shit died. Hold on.
Hey, that was funny.
Let's roll like shit died. Because I put my hands in mouth moved. So no. Okay, so because I'm not trying to get heated up or feel triggered.
No, we good.
We good.
But
we asking questions.
I really dislike when I feel I can't even be. Why can't I be?
You should be able to be though. But
it's a threat for being.
So I Reggie, before you talk, I know you're about to say something. So I feel like here's the thing, right? So I feel like naturally, and Omar, correct me if I'm wrong. Like you hear a lot of people like, "Hey man, you do your thing." Like you got to a club, whatever. You with a whole bunch of straight dudes, whatever. You got to a club and you hitting on other dudes, whatever. They don't really, honestly, people. I would hope they don't sit here and feel uncomfortable because you're around hitting on dudes or whatever. The issue is when like we'll be like, "Hey, nah, like that ain't my scene," or we choose like, "Hey, it's not my scene. I'm gonna go over here," and you feel like, hey, like because like now, like you don't want to hang with me, or because I do the things my way or whatever. If we just choose like, hey, that's not my scene, I want to go holler at some girls or whatever. It's like, bro, so you don't want to hang on me because I talk to dudes or whatever. That's why? So my thing is, I feel like when people talk like because of our life choices, then we publicly say like, nah, we straight and we want to do it this way, or we don't fuck with this certain type of lifestyle. Or whatever, is like, well, it's backlash when we say it, or we're insensitive when we say it. Why is that? That's the question.
That's insensitive. Because if and I think I explained this to you. I think when people think about, and I can only speak of the gay experience from what I've experienced. I don't know what lesbians go through and whatnot. I can only speak of what I go through. They automatically think of what's behind me, what goes on in the bed. That's the first thing to think of. Oh, he likes men, so he does this, and this. It's when I think of straight people, I don't think about what goes on in private. I actually don't care. That's their business. Do I fuck with it? No. that doesn't even, it's not even anything that I judge a person on. So why are the roles reversed? I've had some friends go to gay clubs with me when I used to go out. Had the best time of their fucking lives. That's where the drinks are strong. Jamar, you hear me? I know you like to drink. You go to a gay club, they're gonna fuck your ass up, and you're gonna have a blast.
Nah, I ain't gonna sit here in front like I never been to a gay club. I did go to one, and I ain't gonna hold you. That wasn't the move that I needed in my life. I ain't gonna lie to you, cause like the shit was like full disclosure, kind of, sort of. Like I went there and like I had like unlimited drinks because like legit, like it was one of those things where it's like people were buying me shots or whatever, and me being goofy, I'm over there turned up and having the best time of my life. Next thing you know, bro, I'm over there seeing the pearly gates, bro, from a distance. So I ain't had the experience I want in my life no more. Yo. So like, that's not what I want anymore.
You just made me forget my question, man. You just made me forget
like,
my
question. I ain't gonna say it in front like I never been,
God.
But I won't do it consciously again. I won't. I'm not. I ain't making that decision in life no more.
But I just feel like, again, my sexuality is being governed. Like I can be gay, but I can't be this gay. If I wanted to fuck around and come on here with a wig and whatnot, then there probably would have, there would have been some shit said. Probably not by y'all, probably by whoever's watching. I would have ruffled some feathers that way. I'm probably ruffling feathers now. But it's like, why can't I be? I'm two things at once.
I mean, we're all two things at once.
Yeah, we're all multiple things at once.
Right.
But why is one of my beings such a threat? And why, like, why that's how I feel. Like it's a threat. You don't have to get down with it. But why do you have to speak on it?
Why do you feel it's a threat? That's my question. Why do you feel it's a threat?
Because those who are not part of the community always are the first to have so much to say about it. Once somebody like myself stand firm in who they are, in their authenticity.
Okay.
It's a threat. I feel like it's a threat. The moment when I was in the Army, the moment when I said enough is enough, I'm not the most masculine of men. I'm not queening out. Well, I don't queen out all the time, but I'm not the most masculine of men. My voice is not all that deep. I have a little strut when I walk. So why is that a threat? Why are you speaking on, for the most part, stuff you probably don't even know? Because I'm be honest, I pulled girls other dudes couldn't, and showed off that I can do it because I wanted to. Did it out of spite. Or saw them after a certain girl. Out of spite, pulled her and cock blocked. Did I want her? No. No intent for shit. But don't question, and I do feel a lot of straight men question gay men's manhood based on our sexuality.
Okay.
So why is my being such a threat? Because for a lot of us, we can do this. We do the same shit within our own gender, but if we wanted to, we can do the shit in on your side of the fence too.
So I do agree with that.
And probably with more finesse.
So I will say what I was taught is like I worry about me, you worry about you, and that was it. So that's always been my thing personally. I feel like when you're on the outside looking into any community, you go get judged. Whether you're black, white, Asian, gay, straight, it doesn't matter. If you're on the other side looking in, you're going to judge that person naturally. I feel like because now I will say this, I feel like the history of the homosexual community, whatever, right? I feel like because that community has been abused way more in the recent times.
All the time.
No, I'm talking about recent. I'm talking about 90s on up. Let's just talk about 90s on up. I ain't gonna go that deep, but 90s on up, it's been recent. Not even a generation. It could be literally our generation, right? That's been like more traumatized. As history is documented. There's been cases and all types of stuff that's happened, right? Recently, it's fresh on people's minds to where like anything you say at this point, we're gonna be on the jumpy side, right? So I will say on that side, like you might look at me sideways because I do this. And it's like we got a problem with what I gotta say, or you gotta do this. I feel like that like contributes to a lot of the hate that heterosexual males or females get now, because like we say something and it's like we might not know we're saying the wrong thing, whatever. I feel like before we get attacked or whatever, it should be more of a rehabilitation, because a lot of people don't know. Like I told you before offline, is like legit. I had to learn on the fly. I literally had to learn on the fly. I joined the army. Legit, it was you were like the first person in the army, and I was just like, and I had a person in basic. Those were the first two first-hand people I had to meet. It was my boy Lawson. Shout out to Lawson if you're watching. I know I told him to follow this episode especially, but like Lawson, like he was getting basic. I'm talking about like we seen it, and it was for me. A lot of people were like used to it, and I was just like, nah, I'm not used to it or whatever. So I personally didn't know how to act. I was one of the people like, hey, bro, like I'm gonna need you to, over there. Nah, don't. Yeah, nah. I didn't know saying the word faggot was offensive. So that's the way I used to talk when I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to say that John just be funny or whatever. There's a lot of things I had to learn on the fly. So instead of, I feel like I challenged you guys' community. I feel like instead of like ready to bash somebody's heads and or whatever, because you feel like everybody should be brought up to speed. I feel like this should be something like, hey, like we don't mess with that, or it should be some type of education process before you start to sit here and bash people overhead, or because they choose to live this way, it should be more so like, all right, you do that, and that's it. It should be like, oh, nah, because you don't fuck with us. That's why. It shouldn't be never that. It should be more so like, all right, they're doing their thing, we doing our thing. And I'm not saying you. I've been saying the community, because I feel like as a community as a whole, I feel like it's always been more so us versus them mentality or whatever. It should never be that, in my opinion. And honestly, it all comes down to like sexuality, who you like and who you don't like, what it boils down to. And I was always talking about my mom, like, hey, like you do your thing, you do my thing. I ain't got to worry about who coming to your bed, whatever. I don't think like that. Like you said, like when you think of gay people tend to think about who's pitching, who's catching. Let's keep it a bean. Like that's what they usually think about. And I'm just like, bro, like they ain't none of my business. Like you do your thing, I do mine. Like, and that's the way I always looked at it. But I feel like we should never be a us versus them or ready to attack one another. Instead of like, if we say something out of pocket, it should be more so, instead of condemning, it should be more so like, hey, like, yo, that's not what
you're supposed to be
saying.
Let me educate you. It should be more, let me educate you.
Yeah, I mean, like, you ain't supposed to be saying that shit.
So I come from the don't ask, don't tell generation of the military. Like that's where I come from. You know, like I joined in 2000, got out 2008. You know, I come from that generation. You know, like I served next to a couple guys who were gay, and I knew it. We all knew it. I mean, I was in the infantry. We knew it. Like we knew what they were, but nobody held that against them. Like that's your thing. Like that was
the gays were the infantry.
So that, you know, that was their thing. Like that had nothing to do with what we had to do as a job or what we had to do in our career. So I understand a little bit more so than some people. And for me, my questions always is like, I feel like homosexuals could say almost anything they want and it's damn near okay. But if a heterosexual says something about a homosexual, then it's a problem. But why is that okay? And why is one way okay, but the other way is not?
Why I don't work, but what is this based off of? What does a homosexual say? Where's the reference?
I mean, like if a heterosexual says anything about a homosexual in any type of term, instead of being educated on how it shouldn't be said or whatever the case may be, it's to condemn them or cancel them or we need to get them out of here. Like Have you not noticed that? Like in today's time, like even for instance, T.I. backing, not even really backing the baby, but asking a literal question about why you can't.
Let's talk about it.
Wow,
we ain't get to the meat and potatoes of this joint because
why?
I got some Nas X. I got some Nas X comments I want to talk about as well.
Right. So he wasn't allowed to stand up for the baby. He was wrong for standing up for the baby.
No, he wasn't, because he don't have a leg to stand on when he's facing sex trafficking accusations. He needs to shut the fuck up.
But see, that's his
taking
personal
his
business.
daughter taking his daughter to the clinic to make sure a virgin. That's none of his fucking business. She's already grown.
So what does that have to do with
sending somebody?
So he should not have to speak on nobody else. Shut the fuck up. You got your own fucking issues.
See, I think that's
that's what I mean.
Yeah. So like,
shut the fuck up.
That's exactly what I mean.
So I think yes. I will say the issue I had with a lot of people that were saying like for instance, I literally what you just said is what the argument has been, right? It was like T.I. got too much going on. He needed to be on a hush and hush while he handled his own business. He shouldn't be commenting on anything. But even like people like, and I don't. This is my guy, okay? So I don't believe everything he says. Let's be clear. I just love his music. I just want to make that clear, okay? But my dog Boosie, okay, he came out.
Boosie,
hey,
the guy.
I hate both of y'all faces.
That,
I hate both of y'all faces right now.
The guy that should be charged with child endangerment.
All right. Listen, I didn't agree with
protect the
what
kids,
he does.
Right? We're protecting the kids.
So listen, I'm not agreeing with. Hold on, I'm not agreeing with what he's done. Okay, because I refuse to have Matthew out here with some prostitute when he turned a certain age. That's not happening. Okay, but I will say like Boosie's music, like everybody know when Wipe Me Down come on the club, it is what it is. So anyway, what I'm saying is like when certain people come out and support the baby, right, or say he needs to get educated or whatever, and it feels like when celebrities come out, it's like literally that's what I was saying earlier. It's like us versus them. It's a war. It's a war going on, and I'm like, it shouldn't be that. It should be one person where it should be like, hey, look, the baby. First of all, baby apologized. The baby apologized already. So where is the like? Where's the? After he apologized, I feel like y'all pick and choose. I'm
not picking and choosing nothing. I stand where I stand.
If you pick and choose, I'm not talking about you, Omar. We're not talking about you. Okay.
So about the community.
Talking about the community. I would say like the community picking and chooses who we accept apologies from. And it's like, bro, like he apologized twice.
That circles back around to he pissed off the right people with the wrong thing.
No, you're right. So I was like, but here's the thing, that's the wrong issue. Because I was like, it's only the LGBTQ community that had it, like it holds grudges. Because like I said, I always use the Nick Cannon thing.
Not holding no grudge, just call the
legit, it really is. Because if them Jews got over Nick Cannon saying some
Jewish
shit about
people?
the Holocaust. Real rap. They got over some shit he said about the Holocaust, how Jewish people did this, that, and the third, and then they got over it, and now he got his show back. The baby, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Like he has this thing where he's like, "Hey, yo," like he says what he says, and now it's like you gonna cancel from everything he's done or whatever. The crazy part is we were just crowning this man the next coming to Ludacris. He said what he says, and now he's under the dirt because the LGBTQ community didn't like it, and everybody's trying to please them because it's like we don't want to piss nobody off, which goes back to what I was saying is like because we don't want to piss nobody off, we're gonna try to make everybody happy. We're just gonna cancel him and then throw him under the dirt. But I was saying like, why can't it be like, hey, look, I volunteer to go in as a celebrity. I volunteer to like, hey, go educate the baby. Even though Miley Cyrus, she just like reached out and said she wants to educate the baby or whatever. Why is it coming from Miley Cyrus? It should be somebody from the Black community reaching out.
Where's that? But how many openly gay Black men are there of that status? There's not many of us.
What in Hollywood?
Open.
And
open and socially accepted.
Hey, if he don't go talk to Justin or whatever the fuck his name is, real quick.
He's already problematic right now.
I don't care, but
isn't Lil Nas X openly? Isn't Lil Nas X openly? And
I'm about to say Lil Nas fucking X.
Isn't he at that level?
Whole fucking town.
He's at that level.
He's at that level, right?
He's at that level. So
hey, T said RuPaul. Hey, why not RuPaul? Like, bro, like, come on.
Okay, like, RuPaul got his own issues. RuPaul is transphobic as fuck. I'm not saying is. RuPaul has his own issues with transphobic comments. Had to recant that. So there's one of those things. You have your own shit going on right now, so I can't speak. But who's to say these people aren't coming under the radar to speak? We don't know that as the public right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember you said you wanted to talk about something that we talked about on our first topic, on this first topic from the first episode about the agenda. And I don't remember what the exact topic was that you wanted to talk about. I think Jamar does. Or do you remember?
I remember. I got fans. I got fans right now. They waiting for this episode to come out. So they hit me up right now. So I'm answering questions. But what was the question? I'm sorry, Reggie. My bad.
From our first episode about this, I remember there was a topic that he really wanted to talk about. So which topic was that?
Oh, so he had an issue. I just had an opinion.
Okay.
No, I'm about to say, I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, Omar, you were talking about the word choice.
Choice,
that's what it was. Yep, there we go.
So he said that a lot. We had mentioned the word a lot about choice, and like it wasn't necessarily a choice. And then my argument to him, and I said this to him on the phone, so I don't want him to be I was like, I'm telling him, I was like, I hate when people, I use the word hate, when I have this argument with a lot of people, it's like everybody said they're born with this, they're born gay. No, I feel like people, because I never seen the gay chromosome. If you find me the gay chromosome in your DNA, I promise you I will succeed everything to you, but I haven't seen it yet. And I also said, Omar, I'm trying to think of our conversation. It was so long. I feel like it was so long ago, bro. I also mentioned that it was a big thing. Omar, and I'll let him tell his life story on air. But I was saying a lot of conversations as kids. I feel like kids make grown people decisions too early.
That was that one. That one is about transsexual people, which I will not speak of since I don't know.
No. I was saying like I think Reggie, we had talked about on the show. I was like, if our sons or kids come up to us say they're gay and they're like 8, 9 years old, but yet you don't know if you want to have freaking cake and ice cream for dinner. That's the decision that we're not ready for yet right now. You can't make grown decisions. That was the issue, and I was like, based on our conversation, I'm gonna let you tell your like childhood story leading to the whole choices thing and why you said what you said. But like I was saying, I was like, I feel like as parents, we need to have these conversations because the biggest thing Omar has said, I'm kind of spoiling it for him a little bit, was like he didn't know what he was feeling, right, growing up. And I felt like as kids, if you're feeling a certain way, period, doesn't matter if you're feeling straight ways, gay ways, doesn't matter. You should, as a parent, be able to have these conversations with our kids. And that was the biggest thing I was saying, like, if we would have had this conversation or whatever, he would have to figure a lot of things out on his own, right? So that was the big thing. So Omar, go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all know publicly. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, but hey, y'all go ahead, talk. Omar, tell us your background a little bit, please.
But
go ahead, Omar,
choice, I don't like the word choice. If my life or whatnot, you want to call it a choice. If it was a choice, I wouldn't choose otherwise. But do I feel like being gay is a choice? No. There's multiple people, probably all, who had feelings that weren't like others. I knew I was not like others very, very, very early in life.
Okay.
Coming home from school being teased. Oh, do you like this little girl? In my head, I'm like, she's pretty. Do I like her? What do you mean by like? Just like how my cousin likes them. No, I don't. I don't understand. I didn't understand that. However, once I understood liking, I didn't like girls like that. I liked my homeboy like that.
Okay.
But I didn't have a full understanding, and I didn't have the full understanding, the language, or the outlet to explain how I felt. But I just knew I was different. I will say I was more gay. Is there a gay gene? Who knows? But I know that I am much more than this body. So, hey, this body may not have a gay gene, but what makes me me that got thrown into this body was gay.
Okay. So you say it wasn't a choice, and you don't like the word choice.
It wasn't. No, like how did I choose?
How did you choose?
Like, yes, like he had a choice. I didn't.
So here's my question.
I've never been straight, ever.
You've never been straight. So you've never had an interaction with a woman.
I have multiple, yes.
So you made the choice to have an interaction with a woman, correct? To see if you were straight or gay, correct? But that's the choice, though.
That was the choice. The woman was the choice, or the girl.
Woman, she was the choice.
That was the choice. That was the choice.
But why did you make that choice? Were you trying to find out if you were gay or not?
No, I was trying to be like everybody else and feel normal to fit in.
Okay.
I denied myself to fit in.
Okay.
But at the same time, I didn't have an understanding in the language and the outlet for myself. I wasn't even given the privilege of that. And I'm not blaming anybody of that, because that stuff's not talked about really.
Right. It's not. It's definitely not talked about. It wasn't talked about.
Most people are raised straight with a straight, normal life.
Okay.
When everything should just. I help take care of a child here at home, and I've asked the child is there anybody at school that he likes. I never gender it.
Mm-hmm.
I never gender it.
Okay.
So in his head, just in case he might like somebody. Yes, no. And if he says yes, I don't ask who. I say, oh, that's cool. I don't want no name. Be like, oh, that's cool. I don't gender it.
So what you missed, Jamar, is he's saying that he didn't make a choice. He always knew that's what he was. The choice was when he decided to deal with women to feel normal, to be like everyone else. That's when he that's the choice he made. I just want to catch you up.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I respectfully disagree.
Okay, here we go.
So, and I'm about to say, legit, it's echoing our conversation we had. And I was telling him, I was like, for me personally, I was like, when you're in that like teenage, young adult to adult age, whatever, you're legit knowing like what's up or whatever, you can choose. And this is what I was telling you about choice. You choose to be happy in your truth, right? Or you choose to be like, I'm gonna try to be normal or be miserable. So that's
who's gonna choose to be miserable?
But that's what he's saying. Like that's what he's saying. Your choice was, I'm gonna be happy in my truth, or I'm gonna be miserable and be straight, or pretend to be straight. That's what he's saying. Your choice was you chose to be happy in your truth.
So there's always there's always it's always a choice. And you said it's like people like who chooses to be miserable. There's some people that we're talking to right now that legit are in the closet because they rather be normal, whatever, right?
Because that's their choice to be normal, right? Because that's what you just told me 2 minutes ago.
It's not a.
You know what I'm saying?
Choice is the wrong word, but choice.
So what is it? What's the word we're looking for there?
I can't find the word, but like.
Because
I can't find the wrong word to choose. Like being straight is not to me. Being straight is not normal. It's not. It's not.
You about to bring the past out over there.
Being straight, the only thing being straight does is produce children. That's it. You get the same nuts from an asshole in the mouth.
So hold on. So if we go by the Bible, and I gotta go here because what you just said. The only thing that being straight does is produce children, but that's how we're supposed to reproduce. A woman was made from the rib of a man. So the normal that is the we weren't put on this earth to be with another man. And I hate to say it that way, but we were put on this earth to be with another woman to reproduce, to populate this world.
Well, I'm not populating nothing. I never wanted to populate anything.
But you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, two men can't reproduce. No, it's not physically possible.
It's not. But if I wanted
that's not the normal.
I know what to do. No, that's not the normal.
I just want to know. I just want to know what normal is, then, because
and this is probably why I sound, or some people be like he's off his rock. What is normal?
Okay, so
I know what my normal is.
If you're saying that heterosexual is not normal, then I just want to know what is, because
it's not my world. It's not my normal.
So I'm not saying my thing is legit. So, and me and you, I think we kind of relate, because I didn't know you were like a church kid. I'm a PK. You know what I'm saying? You're a church kid too. So like the Bible was thrown at us at a very young age. I run from Genesis to Revelation back to back a few times, right? So like for me personally, like it's always been Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. So that's always been my thing, right? So like for me personally, I always known like legit we were made to reproduce. Like males have a penis, girls have a vagina. That's how they reproduce. Those are the couples. Everything outside of that is not normal. So that when you say that like that heterosexuality is not normal, I need to know what is, because when I talk,
it's not my normal. It's not my normal.
So now we're open for interpretation. Isn't that what life is? Interpretation? Right. Okay. You're right. Now go ahead. You're right.
Oh, but isn't life interpretation and perception?
Yeah. Nah, perception is, you know that. And the perception is everything. God. Perception is everything, bro.
But like, and that's where I feel that some want to come in and govern how I deem life, because being straight is socially acceptable in Abrahamic religions, if you're going to bring religion into it.
Yeah.
3 religions where it's acceptable, where homosexuality is unacceptable. There's 3 main ones. And they all stem from the same base. I'm not going to shame those people for however they feel, but don't come up with my shit telling me how to live my life, because they don't have a heaven or hell to send me to, if you believe in that.
Okay. Strong point. I like that. I like that point right there. A lot of people don't hear that side.
I think I told you, I think a lot of the issue isn't even homosexuality and wherever you fall on that spectrum. It's about sexuality. Living in this country, in America, we are sexual prudes, I feel.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And I think you're right. You're right. We were talking about it. I was like, even in like Europe or Korea especially, like that was the one big for me. Like you see people just holding hands and they be best friends, right? They be like 2 guys, right? And they be holding hands. But like if we see it over here, it's like, what y'all doing in the sheets? You know what I'm saying? So like I agree with you. I feel like America as a whole is just like one of the things that we raise the eyebrows at everything, where other countries are like well advanced and like they're open with their sexuality, or they're comfortable in their sexuality, I should say. So yeah, I do agree. America as a whole, I feel like society though, as the society, local society, African American society is just more so like triggered on like what, like you said, what we do. I like what you said earlier, like what we do in the bedroom. Like I feel like it's not like I've always legit. I promise you, I've always been like, hey, what you do? You got your own thing going on. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Blase, blase, and that was it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what it's based off of. It's based off of sexuality. It's based off of sex. The key word in that whole sentence, that whole word is sex. So when you look at it and what you're looking at is sex. So it's going to be based off of what you're sitting on, your bedroom, what you do in your bedroom. So it's based off the sex.
Mhm.
And
But it
the
doesn't
sex,
define who I am. It doesn't define anything of what
it's
I
not
do.
about if it defines who you are, because you're looking at it as people are going to look at you for who you are as a person because of what you do in your bedroom. That doesn't make the man.
It doesn't.
The man sitting there, that's you. What you do in your bedroom is your business. But is it for everyone to know? No, it's not.
No, it's not for everybody to know.
Even for straight people, it's not for everyone to know what we do.
But Omar, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's not for everybody to know. But again, when somebody stands in their being completely, fully, then I feel some people feel that as a threat. Oh, it's being pushed to my kids. How do you know your kids are straight?
Oh yeah, it's me.
Besides you force feeding them that. Anybody. How do you know your kids are straight? You don't. You're going to force them to make a choice that they may not want to make.
Sit and that's what I was telling you earlier. Like I feel like the problem with
Make a choice. It's the choice you're going to make them. Force them to make a choice that they may not want to make.
yeah, I'm about to say me personally. I feel like as America as a whole, I feel like we just forced that whole sexuality and stuff like that on our kids way too soon. As far as me and my house, we not even entertaining the thought right now. We busy being kids. Like you go ball out, have fun, whatever, do what you got to do, or whatever.
And that's the thing that I mean by the agenda being pushed. Kids are not allowed to be kids today.
How?
Because you have people out here pushing the agenda about homosexuality to kids.
Okay, but
that's not
what's
okay.
the agenda? What's not okay? So you're saying I'm not normal?
No, what I'm saying is what's not normal is pushing homosexuality onto kids. Let a kid be a kid. When you get to a certain age, you make a decision on how you want to live your life.
But it's not a decision. The kid knows who they are. They probably been know, but again, they don't have the language or the complete understanding or probably a safe outlet to express who that is. I'm going to tell you this. I didn't see myself in media until I was 21 years old by a man that you guys might not know of, Karamo Brown. I did not see myself until I saw that man on TV on The Real World. There have been multiple gay people on TV through my life, but I didn't see myself until I saw that man. I knew who I was.
For me.
But it's about kids. We're talking about children. So we're talking about children. As a father, I feel like kids should be kids. They should just be able to play, have fun, and they'll make that decision. Jabbar, what did you say last time on the show? They can't figure out if they want to eat cereal,
or eat freaking cake and ice cream for dinner.
So why can't they just swim around in that space to explore? Why not allow them that?
Here's my thing. And I said the issue I have is we're making grown decisions because, like he said, like Reggie said earlier, it's all about sexuality. That's I like boys. Boys for what? You're attracted to them.
But why can't they?
So my thing is, at 9 years old, you just told me that your favorite show was SpongeBob and Patrick. Like we're not like right now. We still developing. You can't even tell me what 28 to 22, what 28 to 28 is. But yeah, you know, like you want to kiss on boys and all that, bro. First of all, we're going to talk about it. So I'm not going to sit here and dismiss it. That's the one thing I say. I feel like as parents we dismiss everything, but we're definitely going to have a conversation about it because, like for me personally, and like for instance, I use Deuce. I use Deuce. Deuce is only 2 years old, but I use Deuce because Deuce is named after me. When you name a kid after you, what do you want? You want that kid to be just like you. You want him to like the Lakers. You want him to like the Kobe Bryant. You want everything. You're a junior. You want that kid to be just like you. Usually, everybody gonna call you Deuce, Jamar Jr. That's what's going to happen, right? You can't be Jamar Jr. If I like girls, I married your mom, and then you out here liking boys. So naturally, you want that kid naturally to like whatever you like. That's literally naturally that's what's gonna happen, especially if you have a junior. So my thing is, for me personally, I'll be like, hey, like you say you like boys, but you don't even know how to wash your ass, bro. Like that's
so teach him how to wash his ass.
So legit, right at this point, right now, I agree with you, but at this point, we're like, hey, yo, like let's start at step one first. Like you're not fully developed to make these grown person decisions.
But he already knows what he likes. Again, I knew what I liked a long time ago.
So I challenged your parents, and I was like,
how
hey,
are you?
Like,
because I was had nothing to do with it.
Because I feel like if you would have felt comfortable and coming to your parents and say, hey, like, yo, this is what's going on. This is what I like. I don't have a language for it right now or whatever. I
didn't have an understanding because I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was not like the other boys.
Okay, so that right there, that conversation, what you just told me, that line right there, I feel like that's the conversation that needs to be held at that age. If my kids watch Disney Channel right now, there's literally a show right now that has I think it was, I want to say, don't quote me on it, but I want to say it's a two male household, right? If my kids like, I don't know what it's called, but I want to say that's what it is. And they say, like, my kid was like, hey, what's going on over there? I can explain to them and we can have a conversation about it. But it's what me and your mom believe. This is what it is, and go from there. That's the issue. I was like, how you say you weren't represented at this point. I feel like at this age, we have to have these conversations where I had that conversation at 13, 14, 15. My kids are having it at 7, 8, 9. That's the difference. So me as a parent, I feel like, all right, wait, what happened to letting me watch? I watched Rugrats, Cat Dog, Hey Arnold as a kid, but I wasn't worried about sex at like 7, 8, 9. To this point in day and age, where I had to worry about who I like and what I like and why there's a two male parent household at a certain age. And I feel like that is where it's like, why are we having these conversations so soon?
That's the crazy question. Like the crazy question is like when your kid come home and asks you, why does that kid have two daddies and I have a daddy and a mommy? So as a parent, that's a crazy question to have to answer for you to a 7-year-old.
So then you educate yourself as a parent.
Well, you
talk to those parents and then you explain your perspective, but don't wrong that other family.
Well, you never wrong the other family. So again, see, that's where you just got defensive about it, about me even saying it. So here's my thing.
I've become defensive at this point.
Why are you so defensive if we're having an open conversation? See, there's no need to be defensive about it when we're having.
I'm not angry. I'm a little defensive.
No. What I'm saying to you is, understand. Remember, we're parents of little children. Like I have a 6-year-old daughter. So when my 6-year-old daughter comes and asks me this question, I know how to answer the question because I'm very educated in the area. I'm very educated on your community. So for me, it's not to say, no, you can't do that, or no, this is not for you. No, but at this point in time, you're still a kid. So I'm going to let you be a kid. I can also look, and just like how I watch my sons who are teenagers, I can tell what they like and what they don't like. So understand, as a parent, you have to know your children. The key in being a what people say a good parent or a great parent, whatever you want to call it, is you have to understand the child that you birthed. So you can see it, and this is why on the first pod I said I respect D Wade a whole lot for what he did with his son because he saw it in his son.
His daughter?
Well, his daughter now, correct.
His daughter?
His daughter.
Okay. But what about those children who do have same gender parents? Why can't they see themselves? Why don't they have the privilege to see themselves or see their family on TV? That's where like the representation comes in.
But
yes,
they are
seeing,
but they are seeing their family on TV now.
They are seeing their families on TV.
They're seeing it more.
Now you're like, I gotta explain that to my child.
Right, I understand it because my child doesn't see what's my household on TV. Understand my point?
No, I get your point. So that's when we revert to back when we first came on, and then you show them themselves on TV because it's. Are we on TV like that right now? We're not.
No,
we're not. It's sad. We're housewives. We're the ratchet shows right now, and
right.
It's messed up that we're in that place, but that place where the fucked upness and dysfunction makes too many people money right now, and that agenda is being pushed.
Yes.
So I feel for those who are so focused on family and whatnot, how about you turn off the TV, censor the child's devices? I'm not saying either of you two aren't, but how about we go back to old days and censor that child and try to mold them in the way we would like them to go or guide them instead of just letting the world take over completely.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no. So I told everybody, like I said, I personally don't give a fuck how people feel, but like as far as me and my house, like you will see black families, black couples, husband and wife be together, and that's gonna be represented in our household. I don't care if, like you said, censor. We're big on that. Like, give me your technology. Let me hold that real quick. You have questions about legit. I'll take it for example. This past summer, my son has seen his first like gay guy, right? Or whatever. He's 10. And so he's seen him outside the park and he like found out he was gay, whatever. And he asked me what that was. So I had to break it down for him. I didn't want to have a conversation with him personally, but I told him like, hey, this is what it was or whatever. And let him do what he will with that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to educate. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this is what this is what me and your mom believe. This is how we are raised. This is what you've seen. This is what they do. And then, hey, that's it. We go from there after that. Any other questions, feel free to come in my office. After that, but I don't have nothing else. Hey, I'm not going to say, hey, that's wrong. That's in the Bible. I'm not here to beat any kid down. At the same time, I want that kid to see, like you said, being represented. So, yeah, we're going to run it back real quick. And we're going to show some old school, even if it's Everybody Hates Chris. We're going to watch some old show where there's a black couple and it represents like what I feel.
It's family.
It's family, right? I don't have to go too far back, but like legit, you're going to watch certain shows. They got access to the same Netflix I watch. So they're going to see certain shows or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like got some questionable things going on. Feel free to come ask me. But at the same time, I feel like, we're as parents, we're scared of what the society feels or whatever. And I feel like we need to get back to this me and my house type of stigma because we care about what the Joneses next door are doing or what they're going to say or how you feel. That's where we're like, hey, by all means, like, hey, if you want to go touch on another dude, it's okay. If you feel in your house that that's like, nah, hey, bro, look at me and your mom. This is how we raised. This is how we doing. And that's fine. I don't care, but D Wade, his daughter did. Okay, cool. That's kudos to D Wade. But like, that ain't got nothing to do with me and my house. Okay, so that's where I'm getting at. Like, like everybody's saying, congratulations to D Wade. Cool. I still have my opinions about that, but that's another episode. But like, I feel like, hey, I want to get back to that as for me and my house. I feel like we lost that as parents and people in society. We always care about how other people view us and not just taking care of business at home. We want to please everybody and we're scared to step on toes. Literally, the baby has proven that you can apologize 1 or 2 times that it is not acceptable in the community. So that's why we're scared to do certain things for our kids or whatever. Hey, by the way, don't say this because if you offend the LGBTQ community, you can apologize 1 or 2 times or whatever. It's not acceptable. That's what we legit showing our kids. It's not, and Omar, I'm not attacking you. Well, I'm literally attacking the community. White, black, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. It feels like legit, like if you apologize to this community, it's always like,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you apologize. It doesn't matter if you apologize.
Look, you fucked up. It is what it is, big dog.
How many times does a person apologize?
You should only have to apologize once and then let your actions prove it.
But again, okay, so we're gonna speak on this dude. He's apologized for the same before this whole incident. He's apologized for the same incident, violence against women, but he still exists. Everybody should be outraged because right now he's apologizing. So he's a sorry ass dude right now because all he can do is apologize, but his actions don't speak different than his words, or they are speaking different because again,
I just want to go on record. The baby never apologized for hitting that female. If anything, he was like, hey, like he said,
I'm sorry, I thought that was a man. That's what he said.
I'm about to say exactly. I'm about to say legit, like he didn't really apologize for hitting her. He thought it was a man the first time or the second time. The first time it was like whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like this time I feel like it was unique because of what he said and how he said it.
But there's again back to what we first started this conversation on. What he said, just that first part, dangerous. It's dangerous. The second part talking about to the women whose pussy smell like water. I don't know what pussy smell like or supposed to smell like, but if it smell like water, the fuck, that's still problematic. Maybe that woman ain't so fresh that day. She in that damn crowd all motherfucking night. I know she ain't smelling like water after that. So what the fuck? Your pussy smell like water. What does that even fucking matter? But he's just vibing with his crowd. No. It has nothing to do with nothing. Then following up, what about you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot? Who gives a fuck? That's very specific for a straight man to say. Who gives a fuck about somebody sucking dick in the parking lot? There's probably more than likely a lot of people in that damn crowd sucking dick at the same time. Because hey,
I agree with you. I agree with you. Like what I've done it. I wasn't ready. I appreciate. Hey yo, hey, that threw me the fuck off. Hey, well, listen, what I was trying to say. It was like I don't like. I'm saying like whatever he said, whatever. But the fact that like he was told what he said was wrong. He apologized the first time. Great. I ain't go cap. I didn't like it the first apology. He was laying in the bed, bullshit.
That wasn't the apology.
That wasn't no apology.
That wasn't the apology.
The second time when he apologized, when he got PR involved, which we said.
That first one wasn't an apology. That first one was him doubling down on what he said. Then he apologized, and then PR apologized. That first time was a double down. He doubled down. You never seen a real nigga like me say the shit that I said because I'm a real nigga, and this is what real niggas do. Listen, if you're gonna be a real nigga, that's not the apology. That wasn't an apology. He apologized after that, and then he apologized the second time after that. But
he apologized after they touched his pockets the first time with
the first Lollapalooza taking them off
everybody followed suit.
Right.
I did read. I didn't read into it. I was over it at that point that Lollapalooza wanted an apology and they gave him a timeline and his team didn't meet that timeline.
The timeline.
So that doesn't have to do with him. It may or may not have to do with him. That's his team. Those motherfuckers need to be fired at that point.
That's a fact. So yeah, he didn't reach the deadline. You're right. He didn't reach the deadline.
He was supposed to stay on Lollapalooza. They didn't really want to get rid of him. He's one of the biggest stars out right now. You don't really want to get rid of one of the biggest stars out right now.
But my thing is, and this is where I say, like, and I didn't say this for Nick Cannon too. I didn't feel like.
But this ain't about the Jewish people in Nick Cannon.
Yeah, but that's a whole other job. That's a whole other avenue right there. But my thing was, I was saying like when it comes to the LGBTQ community, I don't understand why it takes like we have to go through all these statements and like retracts things or whatever, if we say instead of like somebody reaching out in the LGBTQ community, like, hey, what you said was wrong. Here, let me educate it. For Miley
Elton John
Cyrus,
did.
Miley Cyrus, bro.
Elton John already did.
No.
Elton John did not. Elton John did not want to educate him because he was fucking over it. Because he's been
okay. I'm about to say Elton John did not come from.
No, he didn't. He didn't come forward with help. He came out swinging. He chose violence.
Exactly. No, I agree. So that's the issue I'm having though. So it's like legit. I was like, I feel like celebrities that are in the LGBT community, which there is a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there. Nobody came out to the baby's aid and was like, hey, your comments were insensitive. Let me
educate your fucking self. You're a 28-year-old man.
So why is it every other community? So why every other community is willing to educate except the LGBTQ community? Because we should, quote unquote, already know.
No. A white person coming to me backwards, educate. Oh, well, maybe you should educate me. No, bitch. Educate.
It doesn't matter. Nobody reached out. Nobody. I'm not talking about this white people. Nobody.
Why should we educate him when he can educate himself?
I could read up on some shit, but let y'all tell it. Let y'all tell it. It ain't accurate. It ain't accurate.
There's more than accurate, but why? Because
if I read up on some
have to be educated,
and I tell you, like, nah, it's not really what happened. That ain't really how they ain't telling our story. So if I want the LGBTQ community to come out and be like, yo, the baby, hey, look, we need to how. I would appreciate a black person from the LGBTQ community come out.
That's my point. That's my point.
That's my point.
Why are we so quick?
Why
are we so quick? I'm gonna do this. Why are we so quick to want to cancel him? Fuck.
No, I don't think we're.
I don't give a damn about them. Yes, we have. Yes.
We have. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not
let's
aware
look
of that.
Let's look at who came out and made a statement first. Oh my God, why Amber Rose? First day, she came clean out the box swinging.
But yeah, remember, I think like Amber Rose though. She been just doing the slut walk for like 3 years now.
That's my point. But it's us. We are so quick to cancel our own because the white people are quick to cancel. So we're going to jump on board too and cancel. But we don't stand up for us.
I never canceled him, but should he be held accountable? Yes.
Yeah,
he can be held accountable, but why he can't be educated also? Why can't one of us come out and educate him?
Hey, we're waiting.
They're not. We're not.
No, they're not. So, but why can't he educate himself also?
Because as y'all say, just like Jamar just said, as y'all say, when we try to educate ourselves, we have the wrong information. So it's no better person to get the information from than the source.
But he can go to the AIDS Foundation and APL, all that, and get the information. Can he not? He has access to do a lot of things himself. He has access. He even spoke bad against a straight man that is living right now with HIV, Magic Johnson. He has more access to any of us. Hey, let me hit up his people. Let me ask him how to reword things. Let me do these optics just so I'm part of it. Maybe these things are happening right now. We're just not in the know of it. However, he was wrong when he said it, and it made things worse when other people doubled down while he doubled down.
Right.
So that's what made matters worse. And then, like I said, with the whole Lollapalooza thing, they gave him a deadline. He didn't make that deadline. Then these other festivals followed suit because they're like, well, maybe they already possibly knew he has a history of a certain behavior. So let me just be preventive and stop it right here because this is something that I don't represent.
Right. Like I said, I'm totally with educating him but I'm not with canceling. I'm never going to be with canceling another black man, another black man trying to get a bag.
But is the word cancel or held accountable? But because he's going to be paid regardless.
Being held accountable, that is fine. We all should be held accountable for something. That's if we did it wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You be held accountable for it. But to try to cancel, I'm never gonna sit on that side, especially if it's one of us.
So I want to say another thing too is like, I feel like even in 2021, we are still learning what's offensive or what's not.
Not offensive. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like a lot of things too, like I could come out like we just learned a couple of years ago. This was recent that the faggot was offensive. Was offensive.
A faggot is actually a bundle of sticks. If you want to go to Merriam Dictionary.
Okay.
I'm not a bundle of sticks.
I'm from the hood. I don't give a fuck about Merriam, and faggot they talk about somebody that was gay.
Faggot is actually a bag.
That word just became derogatory.
No, it's always
I'll say that it was always derogatory, but it wasn't.
Hear what I'm saying. Though. I'm saying as far as it was always derogatory, yes, but I mean it became this big word where it's
no.
Exactly.
Gay people are now more out of the closet than before. We are seeing more.
Facts. Right. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is
that's why it's such a big deal.
But if your culture was this is how you was raised in your culture, and that word was a term that was used in your culture, now it's a problem. You have to educate people on that problem.
Yeah.
You have to educate people on that problem.
Okay, you do. But
because hold on, let me finish. Just like how we want to educate white people on the N-word and how that is a serious issue, right?
Yeah.
And they still don't get it.
So for the gay community, the word faggot is a serious issue.
Yeah.
And more than likely, a lot of straight people still don't get it.
They are so conditioned to using the word. No, they're so conditioned to using the word. I get what you're saying.
Uncondition yourself. Because educate me. Motherfucker, stop.
So here's my thing, right? And so I'll take it for Jamar. So my thing is like, you tell me stop. Why?
Because it is a derogatory. It's used in hate.
How? Why?
Just like the N-word. They're one and the same. I was called a faggot before I was called a nigga, to be honest.
And I was called a nigga behind that word a faggot. So that's the thing.
I was called a faggot before I was called a nigga. And I don't even like using the N-word. But I was called one before the other.
I'm about to say my thing was I didn't know nigga was derogatory, so I joined the army.
I was no. See, it wasn't.
That shit was part of my vocabulary for a while. So like my thing was until I was educated on where the word came from.
Both words were in my vocabulary until I learned what they.
I'm gonna say, and like this is coming from Reggie's point of view. I know at least where I was coming from. Faggot was just like, you motherfucking faggot, bro. Hey, pull up your goddamn pants. Like it was some shit like that, like fucking dickhead.
Exactly.
Like, that was the shit. Like you know what I'm saying, like. At least like in the Harrisburg, Philadelphia area, like that was like more so like you heard the word faggot a lot. So
you're a faggot, you're a dickhead, you're a nigga, like they're all the same. They're one and the same.
Yeah, facts.
They're one and the same.
For me, like, you're right. I'm about to say, like for me, it was like until I got in the army, or whatever, and legit, I started meeting people. I was like, hey, yo, Dad, we don't say faggot. I was in basic training calling people faggot until like I got in trouble for saying the word faggot. And I was like, what the fuck did I say wrong? And it was like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until like I found out, I was like, okay, my bad. I didn't mean to offend anybody. And that's what happened. So like I feel like once again, you feel educated because you can say certain things, but like, hey, like I didn't know that was offensive. My bad. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that was offensive to you, whatever. Once they find out it's offensive and they keep on doing it, then that's a problem. But once they know it's offensive, all right, boom, that's what it is. So if the baby comes out like tomorrow and says some shit that's offensive, even though he's already been like, hey, you're not supposed to say that. He says the same shit over again. I feel like that's a problem. But right now, we should be at the point where like, hey, yo, I feel like somebody personally from the Black community, not just anybody, from the Black community should be like, hey, yo, the baby, let me holler at you real quick.
Why is it a white woman trying to educate him?
I don't feel
she's
like...
out of place. No, she's out of place. She's no. She is speaking out of place.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So that's the point. That's the point I was trying to make. I was like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, this ain't your battle, bro.
Yes, she is part of the LGBTQ IA plus community.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's a woman. But that has nothing to do with it. Gender right now doesn't have anything to do with it. But she's part of the community, but then she's a white woman. So she's protected by a certain entity.
Right.
She's outside of the thing. So yeah, she shouldn't. But you also have to understand, is a Black person of this community, do they feel safe enough to come to him? Because he already has a reputation. So does somebody that looks like me in that community of his stature feel safe enough to come to him? To educate him? Because that sounds like baby and pacifying. You're too old for that. But hey, hey, homeboy, you can't say this, and this, and this, and this, and this. What you said was wrong because of this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it's dangerous. He may have blood on his hands because he threw some other people back in the closet, or he stopped them from going to the clinic to get their shit checked out.
Progressing, right.
I mean, and then he's shaming those who sucking dick in the parking lot. Again, that's weirdly specific.
Definitely, yeah, I definitely want to say today was a very informative conversation. I hope that our listeners get a good and better understanding of what we talked about today. This show went extremely longer than I expected.
We still not done.
And we still not done, but we have to table this section. And again, like, we could definitely bring you back on the clock and we can finish this and we can add more depth to it.
I'm about to say, I'm gonna add more depth to it, honestly. I would love to have you on and get some other people in here so we can have like a red table talk type setting.
Exactly.
So you know what I'm saying?
Red table. I don't bring peace like them.
And now we choose violence over here, big dog. Hey, we choose violence.
Red table. I don't come with love.
Nah, this ain't that red table.
I've become.
This would be a black table. This would be a black table because there ain't gonna be no peace at it.
Hell nah. I choose violence.
But Omar, I definitely want to thank you for coming on the show today. I hope people understand your point of view, understand where you were coming from. Absolutely. I really hope that people in your community I hope they think you represented the community well. I don't want this to come. Listen, I just hope that when people watch this episode or listen to it, that they get exactly where you're coming from. That's what I really hope for. That's what I hope for.
Goofy. Hey, yeah, man. I want to say personally, for me, like I said, I told you the moment we talked, I was like, bro, we gotta have you on the show. And I made sure as soon as you hit me up, I want to say it was Omar that hit me up and said he wanted to be a part of the conversation because I posted on Facebook.
I did because I don't. Yeah.
I think I saw your. I think I saw your comment too on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah. And I let Reggie know. Hey, look, I was like, so I seen you're coming on YouTube, and I was like, hey, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I ain't never seen no comments on YouTube before. So like that was like a big thing. Honestly, though, like coming from your background, like I said, as far as the military is concerned, like you've been in the LGBTQ community for a while in the military community. I feel like it speaks volumes for somebody that's been there, done that, and got the T-shirt. And for your opinion, I feel like it matters for a lot of people that are in it now that don't have a voice.
Oh no, I don't know. I've been out 9 years, so it's a whole different army than when I got
out. It's different now, but it's still like you have some of those, I call them old head opinions that are like one of the people that you like, hey, like you know what I'm saying, like, hey, like what he's speaking is fact, and you have more common sense than a lot of these younger generation. Talking to somebody that's currently in right now, okay? Trust me.
And I definitely would love to have you on when we have that conversation about being gay in the military too. Like we're going to talk about that. That's going to be one of those, and that would definitely be a great because you're from the older generation.
Hey,
so you're from my generation.
Hey, y'all don't want to hear all my stories, bro. Hey,
so
y'all don't want to hear all
we
my
get,
stories.
you know, that would be a great conversation. But but we definitely got to table it. We definitely got to stop the clock on this and move on the clock. And Omar, we definitely want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
It was definitely greatly appreciated. I love the conversation. Again, it went extremely longer than I thought, but it was great. You are a great guest, and we can't wait to have you on again. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, my bro.
Thank you for having me. Yep.
All right. Have a good one. All right. That was a great conversation with Omar. I definitely have a lot of respect for that man.
That goddamn gap.
Right. But yeah, man. I don't even want to touch on anything else. I think we should end it here. We at the 3-hour mark. Yeah, we had 3 hours, bro. Like, we got to end this joint. Yeah, we got to end this joint today. We're not going to touch on the wives today like we normally do at the end of the show. I'm going to let you say some closing remarks. I'll say some closing remarks, and we're going to get out of here.
Oh, well. No, on a serious note, one, I do appreciate, like you said, Omar coming on the show. Honestly, like legit, a lot of happened as far as like sports. I'm glad we got to touch on a lot of happened in NBA free agency. NFL season is about to kick off in a few weeks. You got a preseason to watch, check for injuries and all that good stuff. So stay tuned. I will say that as far as the topics that we have coming up, if you thought this was crazy, we have a lot of my military friends that are starting to peep what we've been talking about. So a lot of my old first sergeants, old soldiers are starting to ask if they can hop on the podcast. So we're going to start the big conversation. Okay, is we're going to start talking about race in the military. I feel like a lot of stuff doesn't get talked about in the race in the military. I'm glad that I actually have I have 2 sergeant majors that I've served under that are watching this podcast on a regular basis, and they've commented on every episode in my inbox. I was just talking to one just now, and and he was telling me he couldn't wait for this conversation right here.
Right.
So I just want to let people know that please stay tuned. This is only going to get deeper. We talk about, and here's the thing. I want a public disclaimer, okay?
Bro, we ain't got too much time. Let's go.
Hey, look, I just want to say, like, we're not here to sit here and have civil conversations. Like,
no.
I don't know if y'all caught that or not, but we're not here to sit here and like play the, like, you know what I'm saying, the it's all good type of role. So
we ain't that podcast.
Nah, absolutely not. So I want to say though, personally, I hope you guys are enjoying the uncomfortable but comfortable conversations we're having on this podcast. It's been a pleasure so far to have these conversations that I have at the smoke pit or whatever. We have a lot of those uncomfortable conversations that we need to be, I feel like need to be had, and we don't talk about as much. We're always going to talk about sports or whatever, but in the culture, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that we miss. And right. So, with that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. And this episode right here, takes the cake. Ready?
All right, man. We again, I'm gonna thank y'all for viewing. I know this pod went a little longer than normal, but we are who we are. We're gonna talk how we talk. We don't hold our tongues. Like, we not going to bite it. We not going to sugarcoat it. We going to keep it 100, as they like to say, all time. And it is what it is. Like, we want to thank y'all for being on the clock with us, for our first time viewers, last time viewers, and all the family and friends and our biggest supporters, man. Thank y'all for watching. This was B&B on the clock. We are clocking out.
Peace.